on with slight technical hitches.
Would you like to play a game of electronic chance?
If you don't know who we are, then you're very late to the game.
Where have you been?
Where have you been all my life?
Where have we been?
We are Die Rolling. We're a group of UK-based intrepid adventurers. There are currently 5 of us. If you count the DM, I always forget whether you do or not. I think
I do.
Yeah, we're going to go with 5. If you don't know what we're about, if you've never seen any of this before, if you'd like a recap of the story so far, there's probably over 100 YouTube videos at this point that you can start from the start and work your way through, or go backwards.
I actually did one for the previous season.
And then you uploaded a YouTube video.
Hey! It's a recap I did there. Well, you should watch it.
Should we roll the intro?
No.
Do that?
That's not today.
Let's not. Should we just go straight in?
No. Let's roll it, of course. Yeah, let's roll it.
You don't have to.
No, we need to.
Okay.
Hello, boys. Pink lemonade?
Mom!
My other one's called Cotton Club.
Is that one
It's
called
probably going to happen.
Cotton Club?
What's this?
Just relax to start with.
Hey, that'll do.
Awesome.
That'll do. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Our intrepid adventurers, at least 3 of them sat around the table right now, namely Wesley, Elantrix, and Phineas. Almost forgot it, but we got there. Find themselves in a certain cavalcade, a collection of gnomish inventions by a gnome named Siltmire, that are all have a similar theme, and that theme is combat. You've learned a little bit about your lay of the land, shall we say. A series of tents. You've heard some strange goings on already. It all seems to be focused around this large central tent, of which you have been told there's going to be some kind of event for key stockholders. You've been given a value of what that looks for. It's far north of your current stock holding in the Stiltmire Corporation. But if you need a brief description, there's almost an outer ring of tents that have, most of which are open at the sides that show various goods, devices, various things. There's also a collection of stalls, some of which seem to have games and gambling, some of which seem to be trading in something, though you're not entirely sure what, but it seems a little bit obscure.
Pokemon cards.
Could be Pokemon cards.
Could be.
Be.
High value item these days.
And also there are some kinds of stock exchanges, something for common currency into Stiltmire stock. This central tent, due to some excellent scrying ability from your cleric, was found to be the location of a particular item that you have an interest in. Whether you remember what you're looking for or not, it's kind of up to you. Lantrix does, which is good. But you know where it is. It's central in this area. You're just outside of a tent that was used for maintenance. You believe sold some kind of part living animatronic contraption for Stiltmire stock. What are you doing now? There's a collection of elves and gnomes gathering around you. It's getting late in the day now, I would say. It was morning when you left the fish camp. Travelled down the side of the hill. You've had a few altercations since then. You broke into this place. It's probably getting late in the day. It's kind of dusk time, which, because this is golden spell, would put it quite... No, the other one. It's not golden spell, is it?
Grey spell.
Grey spell, thank you. Because this is a grey spell, would put it kind of mid-afternoon, you would say.
We need to find a way into the tent. We're not going to earn enough money.
No, we are not.
Anytime soon.
Not in this lifetime.
Do they have roulette? Put it on green!
They did have a gambling house.
They did have many gambling houses, I think, but how much have we got?
I used to know a gnome who rigged tables.
500 gold, I think. No, 500 stock, maybe. What do we need,
500?
50,000?
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I don't think there's much chance of us rouletting our way by an order of 10,000.
There's always some chances on the game.
What are the odds of green? What do we get if we put it all on green? Do we even have roulette here? Make the assumption that Asher has roulette.
I think every society has a form of roulette.
Yeah.
The-
You're right.
There could be one other way in.
Right?
Yeah, I don't want to remind you. But he's got a magical peeper.
I really was worried what you were going to say then.
Elf vision.
Elf vision. It came true. You'll see.
I could probably get us in with magic, but there's so many eyes around here.
Is there any way we can scout around and see if there's any place where we could get secluded enough to
You can definitely go and take a look
sneak
around.
our way in?
Yeah, you can definitely go take a look around, but I will remind you of a few thematic points. One, you know that at least there is one bunch of high elves in the area who will recognise you. Also, I would describe you guys as so obnoxiously obvious that you're not from here that people are actively ignoring you. It's the dangerous kind of ignored, because you can start to feel as if you're doing fine and everything is fine and nobody's paying attention to you. But somebody who's good with social situations would realise that you're very obvious and conspicuous. So much so that people are actively
I sense a
ignoring
bit
the
of
fact you're there.
foreshadowing in that statement.
Not at all. So you absolutely can have a scout around, but in doing so, you will make yourself
Even more obvious.
delightfully obvious. Unless you're going to take some action that would stop that from being true.
I see
I feel remiss if I don't warn you.
we have a few options, but before I declare them, do you have any good ideas?
Just to point out as well, you just stepped out of this maintenance tent. While there isn't people directly in front of this maintenance tent, it's fairly lax around the area. It's near this kind of smaller entranceway that I mentioned before, the way in which you got in. This is, even at this time of day, it's teeming with people. So they're mostly elves and gnomes. They're pretty much universally gnomes and elves, unless you deliberately are looking for someone. All of some level of high social status. So a lot of them are wearing robes, they're wearing jewellery. A lot of the gnomes seem to be augmented in some way, either the odd eye or arm or leg. So they seem to be wearing top hats and monocles. The females are wearing dresses or also kind of trousered pantsuits. So yeah, you're in a relatively high class scenario. Most people are wearing riding boots because it is grass, it is muddy.
Any galoshes?
The odd galosh, yeah, the odd galosh here and there.
We
Shiny
could do
black
with,
galosh.
with trying to make ourselves a bit less conspicuous.
In eyesight, is there one of two items? Clipboard, official looking. 2, high visibility jacket.
There's probably both of those things.
Is there?
So the occasionally what you've seen and people who have interrupted you, the only
Yes.
people who have interacted with you since you've joined the inside of the circle have been some kind, you don't ask them what they are, but some kind of maintenance people, if you like. They wear mostly leather overalls, either armed or unarmed, so either free armed or not armed. And they tend to have canvas coloured shirts, normally bearded, the males, normally bearded, a set of goggles on their head, and often a clipboard. They kind of mill around in the crowd, are often ignored and kind of just seen to walk around, all gnomish, but they do occasionally seem to have weird little clipped conversations with the automata or with the occasional individual. They seem to offer to repair things fairly commonly. A lot of them come back to this tent. You actually were brought back to this tent by one of these individuals.
A clipboard might do it.
None of us are gnomes. You look the closest.
Grab yourself a clipboard and a high vis.
there anything? Is there anything close?
There's got to be a stack of
That's how
them
you
somewhere.
bring me in.
I could fit one in. I could fit in one, I reckon.
There's got to be one hanging over the back of a chair or something like
Yeah.
that somewhere.
If you actively look for a set of leather
Yeah.
overalls, you will be able to find
I'll have a look. It'll fit me.
You're
That's
gonna have
fine.
to try, buddy.
I'll be greasing up.
You got any butter on you?
And I'll be sliding in if possible. I'll definitely have a clipboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't read.
Okay, you're around the maintenance tent.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take too much effort
Yeah.
to sidle on in, find yourself a pair of hard leather pants.
I'm just gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, it's that whole just walk with authority. No, nothing
charisma.
sneaky, nothing stealthy, picky uppy.
Yeah.
Just look at some of the gnomes.
You know when Ross can't get his leather pants?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
That
expecting.
might be what happens.
Okay, on the inside of this maintenance tent,
Yeah.
there is literally a makeshift set of hooks on your right. It's kind of just a metal bracket and a metal post with hooks in it, and it's filled with these leather overalls. There's loads of different sizes. There's a lot of goggles hung up here or there.
Oh, I'll have some goggles as well,
yeah,
yeah.
a set of goggles.
Yeah. Hopefully some
Absolutely.
dirty ones, make it look like I've done some work.
Yeah, there doesn't seem
Yeah.
to be any kind of sizing in any of them. It's almost like how do you describe it? They're like they are overalls, but much more akin to I've totally forgotten the word. Word blindness.
Dungarees.
Dungarees.
Oh,
Thank you.
I've
Like a
got
leather
them.
set of
Yeah,
dungarees.
yeah,
There are
yeah.
some with arms, but most of them are armless, and they're kind of leather dungarees.
Well, I'll try and find a large pair, please.
Yeah, large as they look.
Please,
Yeah.
yes.
They are gnomes. The
With
large isn't super.
The
large.
most,
Yeah, lots
the
of
most
banding.
string left
Yeah.
that I can, I
Yeah.
can pull out.
Cool.
Is that possible? Is that a
Yeah.
possibility?
Yeah, you can give it a go.
Do you want me to roll for something?
No, I'm happy that
Perfect.
you found some.
Yay!
Yeah,
Now I need to just get out of here.
cool. People aren't paying attention to you.
Yeah,
You'll be able to
that's
just leave.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
I'm heading back to the squad.
fine.
Hopefully we're still towards the periphery. A little bit quieter.
Yeah, you'd have to head out that way because
Yeah.
the front of the maintenance tent will bring you out into a crowd of people. There's a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit of distance between the front of the tent and where you are,
Yeah.
but there's a crowd of people.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to walk through like I own Stiltmire's cavalcade.
If we stay round the back of the maintenance
If
tent,
you track around the back, it'll
We'll be out
up
of sight.
towards the kind of log wall.
We'll be out
and
of sight.
There won't be a huge amount of people around there.
Right.
Yeah.
well,
Gnomes are 3 to 4 feet. Dwarves are 4 to 5 feet. So you might get lucky.
it'll be snug.
Let's have a look.
Snug.
Officially, dwarves are medium though, whereas gnomes are small. So
What is
could
it?
be some bursting.
It
It's
might
a
be,
volume issue.
might be a bit of chafing.
less
there.
than
Less than
direct-
height.
Less than height. It's
Really bursting.
It's like a bell curve issue. Is there not a gnome that?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You want the
And
biggest
therefore-
gnome, the smallest.
Yeah.
Dwarf.
Well, the dwarf is a set size, so
Are you looking for plus size gnome? Yeah.
you need to go to the cavalcade. Can you roll an investigation check for me, please, Felix?
So,
Felix is here.
who?
No. 4.
Felix isn't here apparently.
Everything is fine.
Snoozer
Right.
is not
Can
quite
you-
working today.
We're at an impasse here, aren't we? We need to get in there, but we can't do anything because we're going to get seen.
I'm going to walk in. I've just walked around this whole place and ain't nobody questioned me. I'm heading in. Don't know what I'm looking for.
Tell him what we're looking for. Describe what we're looking for. See if he can find it. If he can just walk in there.
I suggest, just like you managed to walk into the last place and throw a rope over, if you can walk into this place and find a way in for us.
I can't throw a rope over. It's a tent, I'm afraid.
It's true. But if you can find a way in for us,
Oh.
such as, what does the stock thing look like that we've got?
It's like a steel, some kind of dull metal anyway, coin, and it's just got Stiltmire written around the periphery with stock written across the bottom. And they've got mostly a number at the front. They're all identical size. The only difference is the
It's
number.
kind of like a gambling chip.
How's your,
Pop.
Exactly. It's kind of like some kind of metal chip.
how's your pickpocketing?
Honest.
Okay,
Am I? Either way.
now's a good time to practice.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
Euthanaeus?
Not great.
I'd probably be quite good at it, but in these circumstances, we stick out like a sore thumb anyway.
True.
Anybody is going to be seeing me if I can get close enough to get in their pocket, they're not going to they're going to notice me.
What are you wearing for this?
Mostly sort of shadowy colours, cloak, dark shirt, dark pants, that sort of thing.
Strider. Not Aragorn
Just
yet.
curious to what.
Just Strider and the fancy
Yeah,
clothing.
curious to what the gnomes would make of you.
Most of my working life has been spent at night, so I'm dressed for the shadows.
Say best.
Does it work on the corner?
I have
crossbow bolt. Crossbow bolt between the eyes.
I have a plan C and a plan D. I don't want to resort to those until we've tried maybe some of the other plans.
Oh yes.
Well,
Can you,
is plan A getting him in there?
I think so.
Right.
Wesley, can you
we'll
roll
go
me
with
your
that.
best guess at what getting into several sizes too small of leather breeches would look like?
Intimidation.
Intimidate your way in there.
Oh, just in the eyes.
It would be.
Because when all else fails, resort to strength.
I think.
That wouldn't have the greatest of effects. So if you can figure out another way to get in there, I'm all ears.
Yeah,
Dex-
performance.
Dexterity?
What does one? What does one carry on inventory? Nothing.
I've got some lamp oil. You could oil yourself up a bit.
By all means, I welcome it.
If it rips, I've got painter's supply.
Just paint the crack in black, white, or brown, whatever colour the thing is. Paint me in.
Grease me up. I'm going in.
I can go greased up.
Lister does that in Red Dwarf with a rattle can of black paint.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not sure about a skill personally.
It doesn't have to be a skill. How are you going to get into these pants? That's what I'm curious about.
I think this lamp oil is going to be needed. I think, yeah.
Sure.
It's so
Yeah.
flammable.
The only side.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't got any lamp oil.
Oh, I've
No,
just got
sorry.
naked for nothing. He probably won't have much of a shame of exposing his privates outside of a private situation, so he probably has cheeks, probably cheek to cheek, waiting for the lamp oil.
Oh, sorry. I thought I had some, but I don't.
Luckily his beard's long, but it covers his Johnson.
Lantrix has turned.
I
Oh.
think we've all turned.
Yeah, what turned? Turn on, I hope.
Turn to the other side.
Turned like milk.
maybe an
Turned like milk
investigation
does when
check.
it's left out in the sun for a week.
One does not contain anything that's going to aid me
17.
into getting this.
So, when looking around this cavalcade,
Mm.
it doesn't take you too long to find what it is you're looking for. What you find is several of your compatriots behind a large tent that you've
Oh,
reduced
Lord.
as a maintenance tent, one of which isn't wearing any trousers. You can describe
Hopping
how you
around on
currently
one
look
foot.
to the rest of the party if you so
Cool. So in their little circle of weirdness, Felix slides in. He looks like a gnome, but with a big black bushy beard. And he's got some of those goggles over his eyes. And he's wearing his cloak of disguise, so he actually does kind of
Does he?
look like a gnome. And he says, "Of course, Landrix, you forgot Plan D."
Oh,
I'm here, baby.
Good to see you, Felix.
Who's this one? You got anyone who will be slipping these kecks?
He just
Who are you?
he's gonna no. I do
Well,
have this
Felix.
disguise kit, and it's just like it like rolls down as like a leather thing of brushes and makeup and
Put your trousers back
sketching
on.
and-
That's not going to help me get into these.
No, but and it's got some patches in there. We can probably make them a little bit bigger for you real quick.
Who is this guy?
It's me, Felix. You want more on? I'm in disguise as a gnome.
Prove it to me. Where's the sword?
It's in here, and it like comes out of his thing of disguise, but it's like really big.
Okay, alright.
Like a Mary Poppins.
Yeah. I believe you.
Nobody can tell.
Why don't you both disguise as a gnome in your own unique way, and we'll see who looks more convincing.
Yes.
I know who my money's on.
Yeah, I got a disguise kit and a loot and some painting supplies.
Got one problem there, so I don't speak gnomish.
But neither do I.
Oh, this could be fun.
Maybe we just walk in and we own the place.
That's my plan, but I can't fit in these trousers.
Okay.
People in high-vis jackets don't talk to each other anyway, do they?
They certainly don't talk to anybody else.
No.
Yeah. Generally just stand at the gate looking down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
Actively-
considered trying harder?
I shall try harder. I shall cast heroism on myself, potentially. Which only gives me temporary hit points.
I will actually.
You can't just force yourself in. I'm fully willing to
Yeah.
give a strength roll. I'm just saying it's probably not your best choice.
Also, the extra hit points are only if you damage yourself.
Well, depends how hard he has to squeeze into these trousers.
We've all
isn't
been
it?
there.
Do you have to make a check?
Could
I'm
be a
gonna
groin
cast-
strain involved in this.
Tell me when you're about to go in. I'll cast something to help you.
Cool. Oh, what for disguise? Probably gives me advantage on.
Oh God.
something. I can't remember.
The disguise.
Yeah.
You will appear as something else, and the problem is it's only visual.
Well,
so
if it's physically touched, right?
Yes, it's physically. If you appear to be larger than you are, and somebody needs to run your hand through it,
Yeah.
it will appear.
Because I'm
Ooh.
smaller than I am, so they would. I think I'm smaller than I am.
You're probably about.
Probably about the same size.
Same
Actually,
size.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, same size.
I think this, just to be clear, I think this is very important. This goes well.
Okay.
And the other thing is,
To be honest with
if
you, I
somebody was
think
to
we'd do
investigation
better if we
roll,
just
Yeah,
went and
they would
stood in
just,
the middle
that-
and shouted what we want.
that you're not who you say.
Because it's
And
going
the
to
only
end up, we're going to be
variation of
lynched
the
one
cloak
way or the
itself
other.
is
Yeah.
that you
Wasn't
can't
far
size
off
the
my
cloak.
plan D.
Yeah. You're still wearing the cloak.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's what makes
Oh,
it different to a
Don't
regular.
think- try plan A.
Are you-
The cloak's always there.
We're putting our faith in the sneakiness of these two.
Well, I feel slightly more reassured now we have the cape.
Yeah, but it's what's in the cape that worries me.
Yes. Now in the
-1 intelligence.
stone, we're looking for the green.
-1 wisdom.
Nice.
We're looking for.
Between the two of you.
We're looking for this stone carried by the wood elf Rosset that we've been trailing for a while.
Oh, I do from ages ago.
I think it's in. There's wooden statues in there. 3 wooden statues. I think it's within that, or somehow imbued upon it, or near it.
How do you know this?
I cast a spell.
Oh, that's illegal.
It's inside. It's inside there. The elves that we were looking for. The elves that were watching us. Whose name Indomitus, and the others. They're here too. So we need to watch for them. And keep out of the way at all costs.
So basically, it means that you two are going to have to sneak into the tent, find the big gem, sneak it back out to us, so that we can all sneak back out without anybody arresting us, shooting us, or stabbing us.
Do we have any friends here who could get us in?
No.
No one. We don't know anyone.
We think there's a gnome called Stiltmeyer here. He runs this place.
Okay.
Stiltmeyer had an entrance at the Dwarven Mountain to the gnome line, if you remember.
He did. I remember well. These tents, especially the really big ones, they usually have like a catering entrance, right? They usually have a back entrance.
Perhaps.
Have we had a good look around?
We can't really go wandering around out there. Like I say, those elves.
I look just like a gnome.
Those elves are looking for us, or they will recognise us if they see us, and we stick out like a sore thumb around here.
One more thing as well. Just to remind everybody, whatever's in there is Seisu's blessing upon it. It was creating the life, I believe.
Yeah. Also, a side point. While I may look perfectly well disguised, I'd like to point out the last time we talked to these elven guys, they were pretty sure something was weird about me, even out of disguise.
Yes.
So,
Try not to talk to them.
yeah, but I think they can just tell by just like looking at me. I'm pretty sure I magically stand out like a sore thumb.
Well,
But you might be safer stepping back a little bit. Which
Elf
is
side.
Elf sight, yeah,
It's
told you.
becoming
Elf.
canon.
And Felix,
Elf sides.
after you left, I'm sorry if I wasn't the person that you met initially, recently.
Yeah.
Back in the tower, a demon took me.
What? You what?
I was possessed by a demon. I think it was the creature in the tank that we met there.
And you knew this. Do you have a sneaky?
You let this happen?
I managed to expel it when we got out of the inside of that creature, the fish creature.
Well, I appreciate that. That's good news. So, the Ashari lens.
That points to in there, or I assume it does.
If you're the Elantrix that I know, then you'll promise me that once we're done with it, we will destroy it and let the souls inside go free.
Go free. Pulling his pants on.
I can't guarantee.
Going for it.
You going for it?
You, sorry, I thought that was over. You go, let's carry. Please carry on. Please carry on. Please carry on.
Wesley's straining against a
Sorry.
small
I-
pair of leather trousers.
I can't guarantee it will work, but happily.
Grazie. Thank you. I'm glad you're back. He gives her a little paw pat. Nice.
Old girdle. Can you make me a flat strength check in that case?
I'm just gonna have to. One does not have anything else.
Do you have any lubricating?
None.
Okay. Going
I'm
raw.
chafing.
Going raw.
It's a 13.
It's a powerful 13.
Powerful
I'll take it.
13.
You squeeze yourself into these leather overalls. You're quite strong. Describe yourself in girth.
Fucking hench. I've just been doing calisthenics for like 200 years in a room, bored. Got press ups, inverted press, everything.
There's not a lot of give, is what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Got thighs.
Yeah.
You seen Chris Hoy, my cyclist? Look at my waist.
So yeah, there's not a lot of give, and these are leather
I don't know what to
overalls,
say.
right? There's not a lot of give in them either. So it's sort of the immovable object. Squeak! It's the unstoppable force. However, you managed to pull it off quite well, all things considered.
I think pull it off is the word that you're looking for there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
You obviously filled them. Like you filled them to the brim.
Is that what I eat? Thank you.
It's a little bit hard to look at, in fact. Some of the brass
Yeah.
fastenings.
It's
seem
like
to
a
be-
division sign.
Yeah, some of the brass fastenings seem to be could be weaponized at any given moment. If you need to kind of suddenly
I like that,
He-Man
yeah.
out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
But other than that, they are on.
I feel like that's happening, yeah, we're
Yeah.
He-Manning out here.
Yeah,
so.
they're on. They're a little bit lower than you would like at the dungarees.
That's fine.
Kind of below the.
A lot lower than we'd like.
Guaranteed.
Just about. Yeah. So
good, it's
yeah,
fine, yeah,
but
yeah,
they're
that's
on.
right.
They're on. So you can take that if you put your goggles on. Walking might be a slight strain. But you're not encumbered anyway.
I'll bet him in.
Yeah, don't do any sprinting anytime
It's
soon.
like new shoes, isn't it?
Yes, needs it. It's like a new shoe, but over most of your body.
And they're leather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't sweat.
Yeah. I'm quite nervous, sorry. I don't.
Luckily, it's a cool evening so
Yeah,
far.
that's good.
But your legs can't breathe.
Well, that is plan. That's the first step of the plan. I haven't got a plan, but that's the first step of what's going to be the plan.
Okay.
Is complete.
How does Felix look?
Terrified, I would have thought.
Felix you can disguise as ever Will, so it's
He
up
looks
to
like
you
Will.
how you look, really.
He looks like a very bearded gnome.
Very, very thin one.
Very bearded gnome. No, well, the old coat can fill out a little bit. It's
Yeah.
all good.
You're going for a what's the old comedy duo?
Lauren and Hardy.
White.
Oh, Morgan, yeah.
Morgan and White. Anyway.
We're doing
Yeah,
this.
see.
Obviously.
To catering. One's feeling peckish.
Just to be clear, how much worse does Wesley look than Felix?
Well, you've
Is
seen a gnome.
Yeah.
Wesley doesn't look like that. Yeah. He looks pretty maintenance-y, though.
Mm.
Enough, perhaps, that maybe at a push, people would ignore his presence.
Oh yeah.
Finesse, what do you think?
I
mean, he's a yes.
Other than the fact that Felix is wearing a cloak, which is a little bit obvious now that you're kind of disguised. If you disguise as maintenance, he's almost wearing a Jedi robe over his maintenance gear, which looks a little bit unusual. But other than that, he's a perfect likeness.
I don't see that we've got an awful lot of choice, really.
In together or Felix first and send Wesley in if required?
We're not going in the front door if we can help it. We're going to scout around first.
Send them in together.
Fine. Good luck. I'm going to cast. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This will last for a minute.
Yeah.
You need it more. She's gonna make sure no one's looking first of all.
Yeah, you have a look around. There are people around, but there's nobody behind any of the tents, so you have to be cautious. But you're an adventurer; you can probably figure it out.
Yeah.
Lull in the crowd. And so
Okay.
on.
She's gonna touch Wesley on the shoulder and quietly whisper something elvish into his ear and cast guidance that lasts for 1 minute. Go.
I'm going to start waddling off like I've shit myself. Like a penguin.
John Wayne, what?
Felix has both paws behind his back, just no worries, just like he's meant to be here.
We're going to head towards the middle.
The what?
The middle.
What do you mean?
The tent
The big-
in the middle.
the big
Oh, okay,
tent
cool.
in
The middle.
It's at the middle of the tent.
No, we'll end up there, hopefully.
Is anyone thinking back to Callus?
Right.
To the middle of the tent.
It's absolutely fine.
I would like to try something. I don't think it's going to work, but as Elandrix has claimed that Seisu is in there, I would just like to try and cast Divine Sense.
Yeah.
Just in case it potentially can help us locate this item when they're in there.
Yeah.
I don't think it will. As an action, well, I guess we're in action
Yeah.
here. I can detect good and evil.
Nice.
Specifically, though, until the end of your next turn, to the end of whatever it was, I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 foot that is not behind total cover. Maybe I should have cast that when I got in the tent, shouldn't I?
I'll let you save it for that.
No, let's do it now.
We'll do it now. I've got 4 times.
Do you think it might be an idea to
I
throw
would have
a
done it
rope
now.
over the
Anything?
wall in case we need to leave
From
here
what
in
you
a
see
hurry?
right now, obviously you're
Yeah,
behind the
that's
maintenance
Yeah.
tent. Now, what's the range on this thing?
60 foot.
60 foot. There's nothing that's immediately jumping out at you, and in your
That's good.
60 foot around you.
Cool. So we go towards this main tent and start skirting around.
Yeah.
We're looking for alternative entrances.
Absolutely. You start pushing your way through the crowd. Pushing your way? Probably not.
No.
Slinking through the crowd. Again, there's gnomes, there's people checking weird mechanical contraptions, there's people showing each other off things they've just bought. Most of them are bladed. There's quite a lot of people getting quite excited about the stuff they're purchasing, the stuff they're looking at. As you walk by, you see tents with strange devices that seem to spit flames. You know, they were kind of really unusual, kind of really avant-garde prototypes of what Mayhem can really have to offer.
Yeah.
You do see these traders as well. People start talking about trading, about gambling, about gold exchange. Mostly, people seem to ignore you, which is a good sign.
Do I see any other maintenance gnomes?
Yeah, there are a few dotted around.
If one's going by with, and they're carrying an item, I'm worried that I look like I'm not fitting in.
Yeah.
I don't know Gnomish, so I will approach and just take it from them in an authoritative manner. I'm just going to walk over and just going to go, blah, 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 and I'm going to pick it up.
Most of
and
them are carrying tools, so like
Oh.
wrenches and the like. Occasionally you'll have people who have documents that they're checking. What is it that you're looking for?
anything to look official. My hands are empty,
Yeah?
and everybody else's hands aren't empty.
Yeah.
I want to fill my hands with something that they have in their hands, usually.
There are documents, the occasional clipport.
Yeah.
If
Well-
you can go for a clipboard.
I'll go over our requests, have a look.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody will give it to me.
Spraken ze ražnede?
Oi.
Darkish.
The clipboard?
Is there? He hands it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Daar ronaken
And we'll just walk on.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, that's it.
Seems to let you go.
Yeah.
While
Now we have the
all this
clipboard.
is going on, I'm taking a torch from my pack,
Yeah.
tying the end of my rope around
Some
it
news of the
Yeah.
cake.
to make a sort of grapple, and throwing it up over the wall
Mm-hmm.
so that it wedges nicely between two of the uprights and forms a rope to which we can climb out of here if everything
Better cook.
predictably goes to shit.
Can you do a sleight of hand check? I assume you're trying to do it. You can do a stealth
Yeah.
roll or sleight of hand. It's up to you.
Nice.
Slightly different results depending on what you get.
I'll do a stealth.
This is all going to be fine. We don't need you for a while, Jack. You just indulge.
Oh dear,
You
that's,
just-
that's only 8.
It's an 8. It's quite loud. Is the problem. It's quite loud around you, but it makes quite a heavy clunk. You manage to get it up there, and you manage to get it perched between these two posts. It's definitely in there. When it gets up there, you realise it's kind of 12 foot off the ground. It's made quite a lot of clunk. It would be quite obvious for someone looking for it, and you can't really get it out now it's in there without climbing up and detaching it,
That's
which
fine.
would probably make it more obvious.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's only there if we need to make a really, really emergency exit.
Alantrix, other than eating the donut, is there anything else you're doing? Is she doing anything in particular while you're waiting on the event?
She is trying to look inconspicuous,
Yes.
I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not quite hiding, but
Yeah.
making sure she's got a firm eye on where elves might emerge from.
Cool. Makes sense. You're making your way towards the central tent.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're specifically looking for anything else, you'll get there relatively quickly. It's quite a small distance.
Felix will be eyeing for anyone with particularly large bags of, like, gold.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be a lot of it, which is a bit of a surprise. Most of these people are wearing kind of suits, pantsuits, and the gnomish females consideration. There's people wearing robes, dresses, not a lot of pockets. And so you therefore make some kind of assumption that if they do have a lot of valuables, they're not stored on that person, but you don't know where they would be stored. But that's the assumption you're making.
They trust each other's word.
Perhaps. Definitely a different style of trading to what you used to. So, unless you stop for anything else, you'll be heading towards the central tent. It's very large. It's probably about 100 foot across. It's banded in plain canvas and red, so relatively large, kind of 5 foot across bands from top to bottom, a bit like a big top if you like. It's got 2 masts that hold up the bulk of this tent, if you like. Big long guide ropes coming off the masts themselves. The face you're looking at is kind of ecliptical, if you like. You're looking at one of the longer faces. Everything's kind of laced from this side. There's no obvious entrance.
Okay.
Equally, as I mentioned before, there's nobody particularly guarding it. It's not like there's a group of people around it. However, it's busy, so there's lots of eyes everywhere. But there's nobody particularly patrolling or guarding, as far as you can tell in the short distance you've travelled. You can get there pretty quickly.
How is it attached to the ground? Like,
It's just pegged in.
so you could go under it?
In theory, it's pegged in pretty tight, so it'd be obvious. You'd have to perhaps loose some of the ropes around the pegging and get under.
Do you want some?
That's thorough, mate.
Loosen the
Badgers
peg.
in the tunnel, didn't he? Spent all night, dug a tunnel, in.
Dig,
In, out.
dig.
Cool, let's keep going. Should we go? We keep going around?
We find an entrance.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Let's go.
You start going around, it becomes more and more obvious that it seems to be laced for a reason. A lot of what would be entrances are laced shut.
Yeah.
When you look at these tents, effectively there are seams, and there are 2 down the face you're looking at. There's 1 down the extreme end, there's 2 down the opposite face, and they obviously can form very large entrances, but they're laced from top to bottom. So it's obviously been laced shut for whatever reason. You don't know whether that means there's people inside, you know whether that means there's nobody going in right now. It just seems
Oh,
to
hang
be.
on, so there's no entrance?
Doesn't seem to be. It's laced. All the entrances are laced shut.
That's not so much.
No. How do we cause a distraction? Cut the lace in.
It's just laced as far as you haven't had a good look. You don't know whether it's locked or whether it's tied or whether it's.
I want eyes this way. My wee slash this way.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You have a look at the lace. I'll keep a lookout.
I will inspect.
There are crowds of people around.
Yeah.
So, other than the fact you look like maintenance people, other than that, people will see what you do.
Yeah.
It's just whether they care is the question.
It's that thing of just do it with authority, isn't it? We've got a document. We've got some lace. We can inspect the lace.
Yes.
Yeah, we should start inspecting the knotting for sure. Doing it. Yeah. Inspect the rope.
Yeah.
The gauge of rope. Is it power
Cage.
line? Parachute
Felix is going to
line?
look at his non-existent watch.
Yeah. I'm going to sort of fiddling with it. Is there a knot that I can see that I can loosen?
Yeah,
And
what it looks like is
Have a
it's
little
just
look.
loosely knotted at the bottom to keep it from opening in the wind.
Yeah.
But other than that, it isn't locked. It's just laced shut.
quick little peek.
Yeah. If
What
you
do I
take,
see?
so it's heavy canvas, you
Yeah.
will literally have to
I'll have a pull. Yeah.
pull it open.
Oh, good canvas this. I'll be saying that to you.
As you pull it open, the thing that kind of surprises you a little bit is it's dark inside. And not pitch black, you've got dark vision anyway, but not pitch black, but it is dark. There doesn't seem to be any light. The only light comes from the ceiling itself.
Yeah.
And it's quite dim outside. Apart from, so in the outer layer, if you like, there's an outer area of the tent. Most of this tent is circular tables with one or two chairs, very fine looking tables and chairs, obviously made for some kind of gathering, you're not really sure what, but they're very evenly spaced, ordered, around the whole periphery of this ecliptic space. Centrally, there seems to be a central inner tent of some description. You'd almost describe it as like a tabernacle. It's like quite ornate, thick canvas, but quite ornate. However, the thing that's strange about it is there's an eerie glow coming from within it. Immediately,
Wondering whether we
as
can
you
wait till
open up,
night
it's
time.
green tinted and there's this eerie glow.
Yeah.
You start to hear a conversation.
In a language that I know.
What languages do you know?
Not many. Common, dwarvish, undercommon.
It's a none of those.
Curses.
You probably recognise it though, you've listened to conversation an awful lot. You're hearing relatively frantic conversation in what you now know to be Gnomish.
Yeah.
Yes, and there is a very commanding voice that seems to be louder than the rest of them, almost shouting. And then there's kind of frantic other voices that are around in Gnomish. However, occasionally, the relatively sing-song sound of an elvish voice is heard.
Oh, no.
It's very calm, but it seems to speak ever so often. In response, there's a clipped elvish response that's heavily accented in Gnomish. There's obviously a discussion going on.
Yeah.
Group of gnomes that you're not really sure what they're doing, but they're frantically doing something. There's a gnomish voice being quite commanding. There's obviously a conversation between that individual and an elf, but you're not sure what they're quite saying.
That's not good. I'll relay this to Felix.
I don't really want to go in there without the others.
Not a chance. Not yet.
No, if there's the elves inside.
Should we head back?
I think. Yeah,
I don't think we're ready to be.
I don't think we should delay.
If it was empty, I'd have been in, but
Yeah.
it's not.
We're gonna head back.
As you turn around,
Right.
there's two other gnomes in leather,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're looking at the seaming as well, and they seem to be looking at what you're doing. One of them says, "Yes, sure,
Felix nods.
Yes, come on. Da danke, da kaku."
And he's gonna try and walk quickly by.
Yeah. He will call after you. Yes, but he won't follow you.
Well, he's got very fast legs.
Yeah. Unless, are you going to look back at all? As you
Extra 10 feet as well.
Yeah,
Starting in 5 foot.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He works very well for a big man.
Are you going to look back at all? Or you just gone.
We'll blend into the crowd, right?
Yeah, just going. Oh, just going in. Yeah, heading back.
Heading back.
We haven't got time to look
No,
back.
back.
No.
No worries.
Yeah.
It won't take you very long to get back to your
Yeah.
compatriots, unless you're specifically looking for something.
No.
No.
Oh no, yeah, he's checking we're not being followed.
That was a good choice. As you look back to check it, not look back to see the tent, but look
Yeah.
back just generally see if you've been followed, you don't seem to be. There's no natural movement of the crowd.
Three owlbears.
There's nobody moving around.
Yeah, you know how like the crowd moves, but there's like just one face.
Yeah.
Doesn't
That's an
seem
owlbear.
to be. If you want to be super sure, you can roll me an investigation check.
Yes, please. It's not great. It's a 1, but it's not natural.
Not natural. That says a lot. You're incredibly certain you're not being followed.
Everyone just looks the
There's
same.
20 people in a line, all equally armed and armoured, marching towards him, and Felix is still convinced there's nobody
It's the black of
there.
my vision. It's like,
No one there.
I can't see moving
I'm
objects.
colourblind.
These disguises are fucking great.
Oh dear. You make it back to your compatriots. You are reunited behind the maintenance tent.
Were you seen? Were you
notice
followed?
Yeah, you
Oh,
notice
no.
a fairly
No.
obvious torch is lodged in between two of the logs with a trailing rope that screams exit route.
That's bad.
Did you find a way for us to get in?
That kind of cancels all of the work we did.
It's easy to
Disguise.
Shut up,
it's
Felix.
easy to get in, but it's currently occupied.
Is it easy for us to get in?
Oh yeah. I could run straight through the canvas.
There's
Straight through.
a green glow
Yeah.
from inside, which sounds like what we're after on.
What about the first door?
How do you know it was
Easy.
green?
He told me.
Well,
Yeah,
how did you get us through?
it looks bright.
Follow me. I run through, Wesley-shaped hole, in behind. Easy. Cut it. It's canvas.
Getting in is no problem.
No.
Once you're inside, that's the problem. There's an elf in there.
And a small one.
And that's hopefully who we're looking for.
Oh!
Oh, you think it's the? You don't think it's the? Okay.
What's their name?
Did you get a look at the elf?
No.
No, we just heard them.
No, dark.
Well,
We're not what?
we know where it is. We've got to get closer.
We're not a two-man army.
Are you friendly with...
We can't just
This
walk,
elf.
we can't walk up to it. We're too easily recognisable. We know that.
Unless there was some kind of distraction.
Oh no.
Not a bad idea.
Immediately thinks, what have you done?
No, we haven't done anything at all.
Oh,
no.
right.
I'm just thinking like there is no way you guys are getting in. And if the two of us go in, I don't know if we're coming out.
We're coming out fast. And off. Down the road.
I have some ways to find out what's going on in there without us being in there.
There's also loads of really flammable things around here. Like if we wanted to just take something off someone's stand and just turn it onto a bunch of tents and just distraction would be possible.
I heard about the Bastion.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I was there.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard about it,
Yeah.
correct.
I heard about it directly
Yeah.
with my eyes.
It's not a completely ridiculous idea though. If everybody's running around trying to put out a raging fire at one end of the camp.
Should we call it Plan F?
Plan F. Okay.
What's your plan? Tell us.
If you can get us close enough,
Yep.
we can first of all find out who these people are, I think, and work out which of them are more susceptible to.
Do you speak Gnomish?
Yes.
That's mint.
Do you speak Elvish?
Yeah.
That is also mint.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. I speak neither, but...
I should
we
teach
are
you something.
speaking Elvish right now.
Oh, I'm not.
I taught a gnome Elvish, I think.
Yeah.
Was it Elvish? Yes. You would. Yes, I enjoy teaching.
Oh.
I'd happily teach you one day.
No, I'm fine.
He didn't ask.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, don't push
Just
it
take
on.
me to Goric, really. That's all I want.
Reading's a lot of it. It's very important, you know. You can learn a lot.
What even is reading? Why read when you have the intertransmission device?
You know you do read your little book.
No, it's like IKEA instructions.
Just Lego diagrams.
Yeah!
That is very disappointing.
Yeah, but it is...
How's the index system?
Because it is the universal language, you see.
Oh,
Regardless, everybody can follow it. There's no point in having a manual this large with 45 different languages in if you can do it graphically.
Felix walks between the two of you. We'll try and get you as close as possible.
Okay. Well, we're elves at least.
Yeah. As long as we don't get seen by Thundermaster or whatever his name was.
We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and make sure he's not there. You know why? We'll go
Okay.
like 10, 22, 30, but not 40 feet ahead in the cloud.
Put your hood up.
What about 35?
Put my hood up.
As I'm now speaking.
It is just a very dark grey hood on a very dark grey cloak, so
Okay.
I kind of look like just
Might
a
be flying.
40 if it close.
Okay. Let's do
bulkier elf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to start sidling up to this tent.
Am I running
Slight-
through the tent? I don't know what the
Slightly
plan is.
slightly glowy red eyes
The plan
underneath
is
the
to go
hood.
closer. She can
Is it getting dark yet?
It's getting darker.
Not run through the tent then.
No.
Not
You
yet.
start off the session and it was kind of mid-afternoon. You get to kind of probably about late, not late afternoon, but it's definitely prime of afternoon time.
Shadows are lengthening.
It's getting darker. The crowd is thinning, but it's not thin.
I wonder what it is thinning about.
Is it thin because they're inside the tent? That's not what we want.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Let's go.
Right,
Haste!
We're
let's
going
do
first.
this.
Hood up.
Hood up.
Cool.
Elantrix will put her hood up as well.
Yeah. Travelling closer. With hoods up, you are getting the occasional look.
Should we take it down again? Hood down. Hood down.
Yeah, nobody else is wearing hoods.
Yeah,
So
that was a terrible idea. Hood down.
So yeah, okay. When you drop it, you get less look, should we
Okay,
say?
yeah.
It's only because people seem fairly safe. They're carrying a lot of expensive stuff. There doesn't seem to be a lot of brigands or thieves around the area. Hoods make people nervous.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well-
With the way you do stick out, but people are actively trying to avoid you, and nobody here seems to be of the bouncer type, should we say? So nobody's trying to question you in any way so far.
We'll stay with these two.
Yeah.
We'll,
you travel
we'll
closer.
follow them like they look like they know what they're doing and are leading us somewhere.
And we'll do inane small talk with you as well.
Yeah.
Just so it looks like we're not two people following two workmen. You know who we are and we're completely safe.
Most would be very confused if you were using a native dialect to many of these people.
Yeah.
You wouldn't realise that you was making small talk.
I'll talk to Felix.
If you were using Gnomish or Elvish,
Yeah.
I would be like, what?
So Felix is going to ask you in Elvish, how would I say hello in Gnomish?
Devray.
Okay, definitely. So he's gonna just as we walk,
Grab that one.
we're gonna walk and talk
Great.
with you. Just a few phrases like hello, goodbye, yes.
I'd like
no.
I'd like a table in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
How much for the monkey's brain?
Pint,
We are both
Yeah.
vegetarian.
a pint of beer.
Yes, exactly.
You get closer. Can somebody make me a perception check, please?
Go on, Stu. You looked ready.
Oh, Jesus. 6.
No, just me. You're a little bit preoccupied with what's going on. You don't really see much outside of your
That was a
initial
+2 as well.
personage and the crowds around you. There's a lot of people. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, so you're perhaps a little distracted. You don't notice anything particular jump out at you.
And we're too short.
And you're too short.
Being aware that 60 seconds has passed, I'm going to quietly touch you on the shoulder again and recast guidance. I think your disguise needs it more than Felix's.
Does it have any verbal?
Yes, I think it does. Quite verbal semantic. So, jeez, it's only a cantrip. It's only 2 words. Yeah. Can I have a
Alright.
table in the corner?
You probably realise a little bit too late. As you get close to this tent, these entrances, if you like, that have been shut, have been opened. Probably about 2 heights of an elf. They have been opened. They're not kind of wide open, but each one has been opened. It would seem your maintenance individuals were opening.
Oh, perfect.
Areas of the tent. There seems to be a general inflow of people. The problem with that is they're stood at each of these entrances. There are 2 automata of the triangular variety that seem to be checking something as people go in.
This isn't the second tent. This is the.
This is the large central big
The
top.
main tent.
Okay, so it is,
All
yeah.
the entrances are opened.
So we got through the bit
outside.
where we needed stakeholders, money.
No.
No,
I think
we haven't
that's
got through
that's
that yet,
where-
okay.
I think
Yeah,
There
that's
seems to
where
be
we're
these
at.
2 triangular automatons, these kind of inverse.
They're probably checking for that.
Okay.
But there are people filtering in. It doesn't seem like aggressive. They don't seem to be bouncers. They're just kind of checking something as people kind of flow.
I would like to try and discern whether these two look like the ones we saved.
Oh, they're the triangular variety.
So they're completely different.
They're completely
Right,
different.
okay.
Yeah. So of the bigger
Square.
variety.
Mm.
Yeah, the other two ones.
This looks like a distraction, my
Spherical.
thing. What are you?
I'm a finite.
I'm a Wesley Devon. Snap. We set something on fire.
For the moment, you're a gnome.
I don't speak gnomish.
You're travelling closer. You've probably got about a minute until you have to decide what it is the next thing you do is. Otherwise, it's going to
You
be
got that-
conspicuous if
you
you
got
decide
that,
to change tack.
Coin.
Yes.
I think that's probably our ticket in.
It's not enough.
Does anyone seem to be wearing what are the things you get at conferences?
Lanyards.
Lanyards.
Does anyone look like they got a lanyard?
Or a wristband.
Yeah.
I really want that to be true. It doesn't seem to be.
Can
Can we
no
can we see from where we are what the droids are checking?
You're getting closer. Like I say, you've got about a minute until this hits.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll represent that by two of you will be able to do a check to do something.
Mhm.
And at that point, you're in.
It'll be a coin. They're
Yeah.
looking for coins.
Well,
Search for fire check.
we've only got one,
Search,
so let's try it.
Yeah.
as in flames on your person.
Not on my person, no, for the tents that Felix was spoke about earlier on.
Cool.
He thought that was a good plan,
Yeah.
and I'm
If we
gonna
don't
break
think something
back
fast, these
from the
two are
group.
going to,
Yeah.
then we'll be in real trouble.
Look for
I
fire
know.
Yeah.
and assess the situation,
Cool.
and I let these guys approach.
Give me either an investigation check. Give me whatever check you want, but you'll get different results. Investigation if you're looking for something that will set fire to something.
Felix
Yeah.
will slide back with him because we're equally as crazy.
16. I'm looking for one of those tents with a flaming weapon.
There is literally on your left as you're walking, and you saw it before, so you know that it's there.
Yeah.
There was a tent that was primarily they were displaying a device.
Right, I think we're going with plan F.
It has small brass cylinders that you slide into something that looks like a crossbow,
Yeah.
and it spits fire. There's like a lovely ornate brass head of a dragon that seems to be on this thing.
Very nice.
It's obviously a prototype. I don't know if it's actually used for combat. You're not sure. However, there is a stack of 10 of these canisters just on a desk. The device itself, the individual who's currently showing these wares is has a kind of a crimson suit with a crimson bow tie, little gnome.
Hang on.
And this is
gold
outside.
So it's a secondary tent. On
So
the
you've
left-hand
got you've got a stack of these jars of incendiary looking device stuff near to an open flame. Or something that's burning.
There's a device that creates flame.
Right. Is it flaming at this precise
No,
moment?
it's just a guy stood there.
Right.
People seem more preoccupied with getting into the central tent, so he's not hawking his wares. But if you
Got
imagine
my
somebody
staff.
doing a demonstration of a device,
I've
then
watched
that
what
seems to be
I've
his
seen
job.
what these two are looking at, so I'm just pulling my staff out of my backpack and just.
What have you stopped for?
Let's go there, shall we?
No,
Yeah.
what?
What are you doing?
You guys were going to go in, and if it was
Yeah,
going to go wrong,
yeah.
I was going to set fire to this.
Fine.
We're planning out.
We're planning
Your
F.
plan F. Right.
So we're walking through.
We'll
yeah.
go with
If
plan
it all
B.
goes wrong, distraction.
We're not getting through.
Well, there were distraction then. Try
Let's
it.
try it.
Yeah,
You
Let's
guys
try it.
try it.
you're trying.
I don't know what we're looking for. But I can run. I don't know what happened, but I had a good meal last night. Suddenly my legs
None of my magic works on these things.
feel strong. I can run.
Okay. So we're just walking through the door.
Just walk through the door.
Are we
Okay.
going to say hello to whoever the dude is on the thing?
Spaggers is no.
Hello, Elven, please.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Elvish?
My preferred tongue.
Okay.
That would
Huh?
good demonstration.
Not
De-
to you.
Demonstratione.
I demonstrate to people who pay. Come on. Time to go now.
Yeah.
Things to fix now.
Okay. No, we How many people are around?
It's a crowd, but they aren't looking at you. They're kind of moving around.
Ugh.
Yeah.
My sleight of hand's not that good at murder. This is not Assassin's Creed. We'll just hang about the front of the tent. We haven't got the dollar to get in when you're
Of course, yeah. You stockholder, no?
No.
Ah, shame. You should have took stock option. You'd be rich man by now.
Yeah, we are fellow pyromaniacs.
Ah, I see. You like, huh?
Yeah, that's why we want demonstration.
Ah, that's good. You should see it.
Yes.
Well, if you're interested, he picks up this device and he pulls. It's not kind of like a gun trigger. It's almost like a crossbow trigger, like a flat handle. But as you pull it just belch forth this flame. People do kind of turn and look when he does it. It just kind of belch forth. Yeah, he did the canister heat trap in canister under pressure, and you put it in the thing, and
Lantrix dies a bit inside as she looks over.
Yeah, the little jet of flame out of the corner of my eye, and I look over, and these two are standing next to
You
it.
don't see the two of us, but what you see is our shadows against the ground.
So you do hear a couple of claps.
You know that sort of cold, wet feeling you get inside when you realise that everything is about to go horribly wrong.
And how many per cylinder? How many?
Not a long, 2, 3 for a good burn. So it's really, don't know Elvish. The prototype, the first version. But investment now, we get investment in project.
Alpha.
We can progress it further with enough investment with the stockholder show option, and this is my project and first project, and going well. A lot of interest so far.
Bootstrapped, or you're a university, or?
No, I'm an employee of the Stockmeyer Corporation. So
of course.
All of the intellectual property owned by Stockmeyer, of course.
But this is your lab.
That's right, yeah.
This brings back memories. Every conference. Oh no, it's very interesting.
You walk forwards. There are 2 inverted pyramids. Each face of the inverted pyramid is holding a spear. They don't seem particularly aggressive. They're just stood there as automata.
I'm going to try something.
Okay.
They do seem to be, people seem to be just walking by them, but they are checking something, but you can't really see what.
She's going to, for the first time, use one of her 2 channel divinity special actions from the knowledge domain to cast blessings of knowledge. To cast. Bear with me. To cast knowledge of the ages. As an action, you can use channel divinity to gain proficiency with any skill or tool for 10 minutes. She would like to gain proficiency specifically as a trumpeter.
Nice. Yeah, okay.
Trumpeter.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm cool with that.
She's going to, and bear in mind she's excellent at languages. She's going to go up to the door with her coin out.
Yeah.
And just wait for him.
Yeah. People are passing through. So you get to the front.
Because she's heard a bit of this, she kind of knows a little bit of the language, and she knows it's sort of a almost broken gnomish kind of thing. And she's going to say, Stiltmeyer has requested special permission for access for us 2.
Can you roll either a persuasion or a performance with advantage? Your choice. Slightly different results based on which one.
She is going to roll persuasion, actually. In this instance, I don't normally matter, but right now she will. And I've got proficiency. I can add proficiency bonus to this because of her channel
your profession in trumpets.
Advantage.
Pretty good. It's over 20.
Over 20.
Yeah.
Go for a 20.
It seems unusual that these 2 lenses that are kind of stuck in the face of this thing. Where the bear is all this. 2 lenses that are stuck in the front of this thing. A small amount of lubricant from the lens seems to trickle down one cheek.
Beautiful performance.
This creature on the left, and it responds to you. it says, "At no time has an organic ever communicated to me in my language."
She says, "Know that you are loved." And she takes a few steps forwards.
They'll let you pass. Absolutely.
You were watching bodies.
What the fuck was that?
Did you hear that?
What just happened?
Did that come out of her face or
I
what?
don't know.
It does seem like other people are quite impressed.
Yeah.
People are actively interested and kind of, for all of a sudden, whatever you look like is irrelevant at this point because it was quite an amazing display to see you do that. You've never seen any other organic individual communicate with the automatons in anything other than Gnomish.
Yeah.
It's a special skill,
Very
along
good
with
skill.
brief trumpeting.
Yes.
That's a cool stat.
Very good. No need to set fire to anything.
Not yet.
Well annoying.
You're trying to pad out conversation with this guy. It's like, literally, you're probably running out of things to say.
What do you do when you're not setting fire to things?
Busy.
Got much interest. You guys not have a thing to do, no? Rota, job, huh?
Oh, so we're on break. We're on break.
It's a good luxury break.
Yeah. So you said the heat is in. It's not flammable. The heat is stored in.
Compress, yeah.
The heat is stored in.
Yeah. The power of heat, Gnomish powers, huh?
Are they
Power
heavy?
of heat.
Can I just try one? Can I pick one up?
Hold it, huh? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's gonna feign dropping it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, compress. Yeah, volatile. It's not funny.
While you're
yeah,
doing all
very
your
volatile.
trumpeting,
It's
I'm watching
experimental,
this out of the corner of my eye going,
Cool. Yeah, no
whatever
worries.
you're going
No
to do,
worries.
do it fast.
As a foreman known myself, I believe.
Otherwise something
it
is
is
going
hot.
to go
foreman.
bang.
Hot, wet,
I definitely lost a D20.
cold and
He's
turning.
translating it to Elvish.
Magic.
Oh,
and
of
turning.
course,
Hot, wet,
yeah.
magic, and turning.
Oh, magic, sorry. Yes.
Hot, wet, magic,
Hot, wet,
and
magic, and turning, yeah.
Yeah.
It's compressed hot.
Yeah, compress hot.
Compressed hot.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, we're winner. You stand for a bit.
I'm freaking annoyed.
We'll leave it to these two.
Yeah, I'll wait, yeah.
As you're filing in, if you wait much longer, the amount of people filing in will be less. As you get inside, you suddenly realise on all of these circular tables there are a collection of what seem like the wealthiest individuals around. Some of them are gnomes, but there's distinctively less gnomes in this room than you'd expect. More elves at this point. Everyone is kind of ornately and lavishly dressed at this stage. They've obviously changed. You can tell that because their riding boots aren't muddy anymore. They're still wearing riding boots, but they're
Lucky we had a wash.
This week.
Yeah.
There's a hubbub of conversation. There's some kind of excitement. You will notice this, what can only be described as a tabernacle, this kind of thick central tent that's roughly 50 feet in. It can't be that large. Roughly 20 feet in diameter. It is cylindrical. It's being hung from the ceiling of this big top tent. It is made out of.
There's an internal tent within the tent.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of a central tabernacle, if you like.
There's no
It's
way we're
green.
getting in there.
And it has like a steady green glow coming from within it.
Is there a free table, vacant table?
There is, yeah. There are not many now, but there is a free table. They don't seem to be. You don't seem to be being shown to tables. They seem to be kind of freely placed. People are just.
There's champagne and orange juice.
I was going to say, is there nibbles and drinks on the
There
table?
are, yeah. So there are small pickled delights. There's some kind of like very small fleshy cubes in a bowl. They're fishy.
Hill maggots.
Yeah.
Not turkey's
Um,
delight then.
This is an auction.
Yep. Which means that everybody's going to be looking at the thing in the middle, which is the thing that we want. It's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got to figure a way how to steal it before the auction starts. Which, judging by the look of these tables, is fairly soon.
We turn back around to. We about to say roll
Roll
initiative.
of perception.
Roll. No.
No, I'm not rolling for anything.
Negative. Both of you or either of you, depending who wants to look first. In Call of Cthulhu
17.
rules, looking isn't always a good thing.
You never looked at the same time, remember that.
I got
One, then the other.
I got 12.
12?
17.
17. Completely opposite end, just behind the tabernacle, just as you've kind of taken your seat, you're passing, you noticed a distinct set of elves. White robes, ornate silvery weapons. Sat among them is Indomitus. People are giving him a wide berth.
And which way are they looking? Are they looking toward us?
They
or-
seem to be in conversation with each other, but they have, particularly Indomitus, has that really strange, eerie look that I've told you before, where he seems to be looking through most of the people there.
Yeah.
He very rarely moves, almost glassy in appearance, until somebody deliberately interacts with him.
I
Occasionally,
wouldn't
when
give for a
his
sniper rifle right now.
when his entourage interact with him, he almost seems slightly displeased to be disturbed. But other than that, it's the same person. You know, he has this golden hair that reaches down to almost kind of just past his shoulders. In this green light, it gives it almost a brassy texture. But what you can see is these kind of ethereal feathers that seem to line his hair as the green glow emits.
I'm going to quickly go back to Trumpeter Friend.
Yeah.
And while still trumpeting, because I think I've got that skill for...
That would have been like.
Let's check that. 10 minutes, yeah. So I can trumpet well for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to trumpet and
Jazz
request that they let my other two friends in as well.
Yeah. Well, how what would that sound like?
Let's go.
So the other automata that isn't the one talking to you just marches over in a kind of a regular drumbeat fashion. He marches over to you guys. The guy who's giving you the display seems obviously frustrated that he's being disturbed by an automata and starts to talk in rapid Gnomish. Starts shouting at it. But you just look at both of you and go, and then turn around and start going back towards the tent.
Sweet.
What the? Man.
And you probably see it Lantrix.
The front of the nightclub look.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know, I'll get you in. Yeah, you're on the list. You're on the...
While the guy's distracted, Felix would like to try and sleight of hand a container.
Yeah, give it a go. Don't roll a 1.
Rolled a 1, didn't we?
He rolled a 2.
5.
Nice.
You do manage to take this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you manage to take it, where are you putting it?
It's more of like he runs his fingers along it and is looking where the other guy's eyes are.
Yeah, he's not looking at you.
Yeah.
He's
And then it
looking at
goes in
something.
the cloak.
Goes in the cloak. Yeah. Warm. Very
Oh,
warm.
God.
Yeah. You immediately start sweating.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
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 This
You're not sure if something's been dislodged.
Yeah.
If that's just how it feels.
Yeah.
But it's very warm.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is fine.
Okay.
Let's crack on.
Yeah.
We'll head over to the club.
Something tells me this is a good idea.
So you're heading in?
Oh, yeah, have we seen a Landrix?
Yeah.
Given us the. Yeah, then we'll head over.
Yeah, you'll be allowed in.
Yeah.
You enter into the tent. You'll notice that I mentioned before this lighting, so these strange glass baubles that seem to emit some light. Unlike previously when you glanced in here, the seams of the top itself are lined with these lights. They offer a fairly pretty warm glow. And just as you enter the tent, the outer flaps aren't sealed, but they are closed ever so briefly. It seems like you were just entering at the right time. At that stage, the lights all seem to dim ever so slightly, and you hear a voice.
What a showman!
I think we've just run out of time.
Is there are there any empty tables or are they all full?
There are the occasional
Lion
table. They
comes
obviously
out in a
catered for
minute.
more people intentionally, so it didn't feel crowded. But there are a few. There's
It's a
probably
little
one dotted here and there.
grab a
It
table.
doesn't feel packed. It feels busy. That's probably
Yeah.
how to describe it.
I guess we'd probably like to sit as close to the central tent as we could that wasn't in the eye line, because I assume there's some parts of the room you could sit which would obscure
Yeah.
Indomitus from where we are.
Are you deliberately trying to sit out of his eye line?
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
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 So the opposite side.
Absolutely.
the closer you sit to the, so this is a decision point. Closer you sit to the centre, the more obvious you will be.
Yeah.
Right. It is obvious to you as well that the further to the outer edge you sit seems to be the wealthiest individuals. So they can have a loud conversation about how great they are. It's up to you which end of that spectrum you want to be in.
Your hearing is particularly good, I remember. Yeah.
Nearby or far away?
I don't want to be obvious. Also, this I may have made a mistake. It's just FYI. If it comes up later, it's fine.
Even
She
through his
squints her eyes.
yeah, even through his disguise, he's visibly wet.
I'm going real hot.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Did you,
What
are
have
you guys hydrated?
Are there? She's going to take a quick scan of the room. Are there an area that looks like it might be toilets?
Doesn't seem to be actually. Yeah, nothing that seems to be like a portaloo or anything, or
It's not that.
the tree.
It's, I stole a bottle of some stuff.
I don't know. I don't want to know. Don't. Right. Let's just grab a
If you
table that, as long as it's out of the line of sight of
Yeah.
the elves.
Halfway between the middle and the outside.
Yeah.
There you
Close
go.
enough to the
Right in
middle.
the
Hedgy
crowd.
bit.
Yeah, close enough to the middle
Yeah.
that we can, but not so close that people are going to think, "What the hell are they doing?"
Hedge you bet. Somewhere
Yeah,
between both edges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Edge your bet.
I'll take
Fly casual. Yeah.
it. It's going to take you longer. Yeah, that's fine.
Can I divine sense?
That maintenance worker. A betterly disguised one.
Yeah.
And then
Who's
that's-
sweating?
That's sweating.
I'll tell you what. Actually, no. We could stay with the wealthy lot. We could just be eccentric wealthy people. Fuck it.
I'll stay here.
Grab a table. I'm going to sit down. Grab a
Do you know
table.
like when
I'm
you
gonna-
enter an event that you don't really want to go to and everyone's
Oh,
sat down
Yeah.
and you dither on the sideline?
Yeah,
There's
sod
an
that.
awful lot of dithering.
Sod that.
Elantrix is going to stay close.
I'm going to.
If you want to go
If you go,
further
"Oh,
away,
where
that's
should I
fine.
sit?"
I'm going to
think
grab a
this is gonna stay
table. I'm
close
going to
as
grab the nearest table that's out of line of sight of the elves. Sit down, pick up a drink, and have a drink.
So you sat together. Sorry, let me get
No.
this right.
No.
You sat at different tables.
Felix and Elantrix are closer in.
Middle
Yeah, we'll go straight.
middle circle.
Yeah.
Don't know where I am.
Confused. You stood on the outer
Yes.
boundary.
Back and forth.
Sat at a table.
Whoa.
Just,
Sorry,
why we can't just sit at a bloody table?
You hear the odd curse in Elvish.
I was assuming that they were communicating in Elvish a minute ago, which I don't know.
As the very
So I
large maintenance engineer waddles in
Might
between
not be a bad-
tables.
Might not
Just
be-
as the play's about to start.
Might
Yeah.
not be-
Like, oh, sorry, excuse me, sorry. Yeah.
Might not be a bad idea to be sat at different tables. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, I'm plonk down. and I'm-
Outside with the rich folk,
yeah,
somewhere in the middle,
Yeah.
dithering somewhere on the
I'll
outer
take something off the plate and munch on it. Take a drink.
Bringing down the table.
Somebody on your outer periphery, seems to be an elf, lavish lavender robe, has a monocle in one eye, and as you look closer, it seems to adjust focus. So he's obviously got some elvish tech on him. He's on the secondary table. He stands up, reaches over to you, and as he does that, he just clinks his glass with your glass, and then sits back down.
He's fly. We should say
As that happens, the lights begin to dim, and you hear a voice. That voice is heavily accented Elvish. Sense coming from the central tabernacle. There's obviously some kind of artificial means of spreading this voice because it sounds almost.
You have unfortunately entered my tent.
Sounds,
I don't know what accent you were going to go for.
Sounds slightly tinny. A bit like that.
Yeah, okay.
It sounds slightly tinny, almost like a tannoy, if you like.
Tinny
It is
tannoy.
the dream of every weaponsmith to make war obsolete by making a weapon sufficiently advanced that war no longer needs to happen. But I have asked myself since young, what is it that makes the elves the greatest race on our land? Immortality. When I get that far, Felix, can you roll a Constitution saving throw, please?
It's so fucking hot. He's got pretty good constitution. It's an 18.
18. You're very, very warm.
Yeah.
You're losing quite a lot of liquid and sweat.
Yeah. And there are drinks on the table, right?
They're mostly alcoholic, but they're on.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh my goodness.
You're
Oh,
sweating
my
quite
goodness.
profusely. You think if you hold this thing for much longer,
Yeah. Can he just let it slip down his trouser leg?
give it a go. There'll be a slight hand check.
Okay.
Burn your winkle.
Burning his winkle, I'm more concerned with him blowing himself into orbit.
In which case, he's just gonna awkwardly just hold it.
What's wrong with you?
Oh my god. Just listen to your man.
Of course, if you had spent time in any decent university, you will know that there are 4 grand gnomish powers. Over the last 310 days, me and my crack team have investigated what we believe to be the 5th, and perhaps most important of all gnomish powers. The power to create life. You hear a chortle at this. There's like an obvious laugh. It kind of starts as a bit of a murmur and then kind of grows. You're not really sure if you're getting the joke, but there's something humorous going on.
I'll look knowingly at the elf who just clinked glasses with me and just go,
He's chuckling to himself. Of course, we know. Even basic students will know that there are one of the great laws of our land, and that is that life cannot be created or destroyed. Transported, maybe, but not created or even destroyed. Yet what if there was a great power on this earth, perhaps residing within this very tent, that would allow us to create living matter out of nothing? What if all races were immortal? What if we did not die? Then I say to you, perhaps then, the person who controls this power would see an end to war, an end to suffering, an end to all conflict. And this is the great dream. The dream that surpasses all dreams a weaponsmith may have. A dream that I wish to share with you, my dearest stockholders, tonight. And with that, we will take a short break.
I don't understand the bloody word of that.
You don't, do you?
Wesley's, when the lights went down, Wesley probably just sat on the floor like a child. You know, and he was out of place and you don't know what to do. So she's probably just sat
And
on
all
the
the
floor.
brass buttons.
not in
just-
not in those trousers. You didn't.
I assume it's an Elvish, right? If the elves.
He's
are
speaking in
there.
Elvish.
Yeah, I don't know that
It's
either.
heavily accented, but speaking in Elvish.
I wonder what I'd do if I heckle. I won't heckle. Good.
I still haven't finished Attack on Titan.
Hello.
I haven't either.
Right, a series of things are going to happen very quickly. So while I will describe them to you, imagine all these things are happening at exactly the same time. The first thing is, from the bottom of the tabernacle, it would appear that at very key locations, roughly 5 foot apart, there is obviously some kind of cord that is pulled. And it's pulled up so that it creates almost like a curtain-like effect of kind of undulating, relatively thick, kind of silky material woven with like a golden thread. As it rises up, the first thing that catches your eye, and Elantrix is the only person who will have seen this before. There seems to be a series of statues. One, which is central, is of an elf. Those of you who have met Farinir will immediately recognise them as a wood elf. But this statue is made of wood. The expression of the individual looks shocked, almost scared. They're clutching in their hands a bag of some description. Facing them is a statue of 4 other individuals. The only way to describe them is a mixture of human and half-elf. So 3 of them are humans, 1 of them half-elves. Brigands of some description. They are loosely dressed, much like the people you had combat with not so long ago, all of which seem to be trying to grab hold of this bag. Equally, they're all encased in wood. The bag the wood elf is holding seems to be throbbing with a green light. It's made of solid wood, but something from within it is piercing through the solid wood of this creature, solid wood of this statue. But as you look upon them, the wood seems to be living, kind of on their shoulders even now, and kind of little fissures within the wood. There seems to be little buds, little kind of leaf patterns and motifs kind of dug within this thing. And bits of the hair seem to be almost sprouting and budding. When you saw the same vision not so long ago, Elantrix, these just look like statues, but even in the short time that's passed, there seems to be some sprouting that's occurred. However, there has been a brass kind of standing platform erected to one side of this collection of statues, and stood on it is a gnome. That gnome is fairly smartly dressed in a black suit with a black bow tie. However, you'll notice as they're talking to some large brass device, and it's kind of gauzed on the front. It seems to be this thing that's emanating his voice. Both of his hands seem to be constructed out of brass, kind of articulated joints that he has in front of him, and in front of himself is actually with the pads of his metal fingers touching one another. Both of his eyes have been replaced by lenses. You can't see much more of him, but a lot of his articulated face seems to be replaced. He has no hair. The kind of top of his head has been replaced by metal, mostly of a brassy hue with occasionally a silver hue to create almost like a patchwork effect of his face. In addition, hung at the centre of this tabernacle seems to be a series of 4 brass rings, a wide brass ring, a slightly smaller brass ring in concentric circles, 4 that drop down, with a central orb of brass in the centre of them. Occasionally, in the dim light, you see a green arcing crackle that's separate, that goes in between the 4 concentric rings. There are several gnomes in, you'd say 5 gnomes in leather overalls that seem to be dotted around the inside of this tabernacle. It's only when you see them there that they're almost ignored by the audience. It's fairly dim light, but they seem to be moving around and moving what look like cabling or something within it. There seems to be some active maintenance going on even while this discussion is being taken place, and it seems to be going towards these statues in some way. As you look a little bit closer, the central bag that this elf is holding is surrounded by 3 brass, almost antennae that stick vertically up from the ground. And that are the first 2 things you see. Does anyone need anything describing in greater detail?
Just rough distances to all of that.
Yeah, so you guys who are kind of central, so the two of you that sat central, you're probably 40 feet from it. Those of you sat on the outer periphery, you'll be an additional kind of, because it's a cliptoid, it's a bit of a strange measurement, but from where you entered the tent, you're probably additional 15 feet, which will make you 55 foot in total. So if you're on the outer edge, you're 55 foot away. If you're central, you're 40 feet away.
And all this is going on in this thing in the
It's
centre.
all happening very quickly.
Are the chairs and tables completely surrounding it?
That's right.
And it's slap bang in the middle of it
Bang
all.
in the middle.
Right, okay.
Slap bang in the middle, and all the chairs and tables are around.
Okay. I'll sneak it up behind it then.
The secondary thing that happens, and
Felix's
you'll be
table
looking for this
explodes.
because obviously we're hiding behind said tabernacle, and there is now a direct eye line between yourselves and Indominus, to which immediately there is a fraction of a change in his viewing point from what he's looking at previously, which he seems to just be gazing into thin air, and he looks directly at you, Onyx. He doesn't seem to do anything else, he just stares directly at you. So all that happens kind of in one go, and you notice it. This crackling continues, and when we do that, I'm going to say, Felix, can you roll me a Constitution saving throw, please?
How are you all feeling this evening?
Oh dear.
It's okay. 11.
11. It's still getting really hot.
Yeah, it's really hot.
Yeah, you're sweating an awful lot. You think you've got about one more chance to tank this thing before it starts to get real hairy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've made a terrible mistake. Or the best decision of the evening.
After that, this individual keeps talking. He says, "Behold, I will show for you today the ability that we have to harness this new power of life in order to extend the life of myself to be on par with that of an elf. Is that what you wish to see this evening?" There's kind of a general kind of shock as the kind of people take in what they're seeing, and almost mistrust. You know, like you're almost imagining if you witness a magic show. You know, something's been proposed. There's almost like an absence of breath as everyone's kind of watching what's going on. As that's going on, Elantrix, you hear in perfect Elvish, in a kind of form of high dialect in your head. Well, I didn't expect to see you here.
I say yes, you did.
What are you doing here, Elantrix?
The same thing as you, I suppose.
I looked for you on the way here. Where have you been?
Everywhere and nowhere, baby.
Making our way here slowly. Came to see the same thing as you, to see if it was real.
It is real, Elantrix. You
Yeah.
know that.
We can't afford it.
I won't let you take it.
You know I'm an augur. You know why I'm here. You know what the augurs do. You foreshadow.
You can't stop this, Elantrix.
The augurs don't seek to stop it. We seek to experience it and to find it and to chime the bell, the knell, to send out the warning, and get closer to Whatever it is we need to do.
I think you know more than you're letting on. You know more of what's happening here. Beforehand, you were a curiosity, and now you are becoming an inconvenience.
Ooh, them's fighting words.
No more than any of the other people here to bid for it. I won't be bidding. Why am I more of an inconvenience than them?
You've become conspicuous in your ability to not partake in this event. Everything in my life is orchestrated and it works, Elantrix. Everything.
Not everything can be orchestrated. Magic surely taught you that much. Sometimes things are beyond your control, as much as you like to think otherwise.
Just then, you do see his head lull slightly, and he just kind of drop his head to one side. It's the only movement you've seen from him, and he almost smiles a little bit. Is that why you're here? Are you here to teach me about control?
No, I'm here as an augur, to foreshadow the chime, and to warn the rest of Asher. This is the second chime. The first has come, the third and fourth won't be long. And if we're not ahead of it, then, well, you may know the stories.
I think we can both let Siltmire have as little time in the limelight. We all know this discovery of his cannot stay here. He must leave, and it's leaving with me.
Elantrix. I've got a problem.
While all this has been going on, I've been looking at everybody else in the room, just sort of scanning while Stiltmire's doing his spiel, and just looking around the room. Does anything look anything other than people who, does anybody look like they're not interested in what's going on the stage?
Everyone's kind of enthralled to some level.
Some sideways look.
There's occasionally people having a chat with each other, but there's generally most people are interested in what's going on stage. The only thing you will obviously see in Dominicus, he is looking directly at Elantrix, that which is obvious. His entourage on, they're all kind of looking at the stage like everybody else. Obviously, the maintenance gnomes, so to speak, are kind of just drilling around in the distance. But other than that, everyone seems pretty enthralled. Okay. Is anyone else looking for anything in particular? This is all happening very quickly, by the way. It would seem like the conversation that Elantrix and Indomitus is happening is probably happening far faster than it would seem.
Unlike I'm in the middle of Bermuda in a native cinema and I'm just watching a film that I don't understand.
But you are watching, right?
I'm watching, but I don't understand.
You've got a heartbeat before something happens.
Yeah.
So with that then...
So before that happens, so like the heat of this container is incredibly hot. Felix thinks it's gonna go. So
hot potato.
He knows the context of everything that we're within, and he knows that we need to get that stone no matter what happens. So he's gonna run into the middle of the arena, and he's going to throw it at the elves. And then he's going to shout, Wesley!
What language? Well, Wesley's Wesley in any language.
In common.
Can you say it to me in Elvish? I can feel like I know Elvish then, even though it's my name. It doesn't matter what language you speak in.
Wesley!
Oh, Wesley!
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
We had discussed a thing.
But I will stand to arms!
We discussed the thing that you've got 120 foot range.
Oh! That's what he means! Fire! I'm going to fire a guiding bolt into the explosion, is exactly what's happening. Right, that's what's happening right now.
Before, can we
No,
initiative?
No, you can't.
No, we can't.
No. This is way beyond the DM's control now.
Do your roll initiative, of course.
You set this
Of course
up.
I
You
will.
knew there'd be anarchy.
Absolutely.
Anarchy is what's happening.
Rolling the bowl. Talking about rolling the bowl, baby. Rolling the bowl.
baby.
I got a strong 9.
Well, that beats me because I got a powerful 5.
But I get to go first because I said.
Because I said it first.
17.
Dexterity roll. I'm famously good at those.
Yeah.
2.
Oh, is it all dex? Are we rolling dex?
We're rolling
Initiative.
initiative, but it's
Oh.
based on
Based on
dex.
dex.
Right, somebody said 17. What else we got?
It was a 9, I heard.
I was a 9 now.
9. What did you get, Alantrix?
2.
5.
5.
And if you were trumpeting, it would have been a 50.
You're so good at trumpeting. Could you play the brown note?
That's a chance.
Or just charge.
Everyone in the tent will hear.
Wasn't expecting that.
Every-
Can we have a surprise round, please, Felix?
Mm.
Even I'm a little bit surprised.
So from the how far away are the elves?
It's a good question. They'll be sat with the rich folk, so they'll be 50. If you run to the centre, they'll be 55 feet away from the centre,
Yeah.
which means that they are 95 feet away from you.
Really? That
Before-
many feet?
Before you
Feet.
start running.
No, that's fine.
Because they're the opposite end, if that makes sense, because you sat with the tabernacle in between you two.
Right.
Cool. He's going to use K9 agility, double his distance,
Oh,
six,
we're at
60
it.
foot. And like, so always people like sat there with their champagne, and he's just this dog because disguise is gone.
It's gone now. It's gone now.
And he's gonna toss the very hot ball of brass towards them and scream, "What's there?" That's my battle cry.
Nice. And you're throwing it at the group.
At the elves.
Can you roll me?
It's an action for the throw, right?
It's going to be an action for the throw. And it's going to
I
be
just googled it. There is no specific 5e rule. People often do strength checks or.
It can be a strength check. I'd probably give you a ranged attack, to be honest.
Okay.
Ranged strength, strength-based attack.
Yeah, hang on.
To the book.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Okay, cool. It will be just my plus 7. It's not amazing. 11 to hit.
11 to hit. You're kind of aiming for an area. So
Yeah.
what I'll say is it won't hit exactly where you want it to be. It's roughly 50% of the tap, so you're kind of half on where you need to be.
Yeah,
That makes
cool.
sense?
It's a,
Um,
it is a radius attack.
Exactly. So it's going to go, whether you like it or not. You lob this thing in the air.
Yeah.
It's so hot when you touch it. Like it's beyond freshly boiled kettle. It's,
Yeah.
it's obviously been heating up over time as it's been.
But he's got like
Juggle
asbestos hands now because he's been holding it for so long. I
It
can barely feel a thing.
flies through the air, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do reactions.
No, it's just telekinesis.
Think. Okay. As a reaction, if you like,
Yep.
Indomitus disappears.
Cool.
You don't know where he is right now, but he seems to disappear.
Mhm.
The rest of them, somewhat caught flat-footed, the whole table goes up in flames. But not only that, there's an awful amount of force as this thing goes off. Within a 20-foot radius, tables are just blown out of the way, chairs are blown out of the way. It's an explosion. But not only that, you feel a sudden pull towards it almost, as if it's taken in a lot of oxygen, a lot of air, a lot of stuff as this pressure is unleashed.
Yeah.
You don't know what the hell it was containing,
Yeah.
but it seems to pull in a lot of air, which means all the tables and chairs seem to come in slightly and then fly outwards.
Yeah.
All of this ring-based brass structure. Did you run straight to the centre?
Across the centre.
Yeah. So you kind of so you ran 60 foot, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you're just on the other periphery of all of these.
Yeah.
I'm going to draw this map slightly bigger so I can see what's going on.
Big map.
Big old map. Gonna need a big map. We're gonna need a big map now, buddy. All of these brass rings, a bit like a chandelier caught in a breeze, seem to jangle slightly, and then this kind of arcing green light.
Wherever it
goes-
gets close, it arcs because that's where the
Exactly, it
lowest
seems to
resistance
arc
is.
and then kind of like it tries to right itself and react to that.
Oh,
and it
lordy.
seems to like start to swing pendulum style ever so slightly.
Yeah, it'll actually arc into the explosion because that's where the density of the air is low. Just saying.
I mean, we were all thinking it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely. So that's your surprise round.
Mm.
The next thing that happens is Alantrix. Sat next to you is Indomitus. Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to do that.
Okay.
Decided whether to stab you in the neck. I think right now as well. It's like 45 damage. Is that a bit too much for turn one?
Is that too much
Bit
to turn
too
around
much
just
for turn one.
to kill
I
someone?
did only get one
outright?
hit point on my level up.
Shall I do that?
Did you really?
We're not quite sure how it happened, but the minimum I should have been able to get was 2, but that's how it worked.
Wow. You didn't have anything.
Is it not at least plus con? But I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it would at least be 1 plus con if you rolled. Yeah.
Mm.
But then if he's got like -1 con.
Plus 1 actually.
Nice. It's like the present.
You're not really sure what happens next. You've never experienced anything like it.
You've been possessed by a demon.
And you've been possessed by a demon. But Indomitus seems to flicker in and out of existence. And a couple of things happen at once. Momentarily sat by you, then at the same time, he almost also seems to be very close to this bag at the centre of the room, if you like. Then he also seems to be very close to Felix. And then he seems to be sat down next to you again. Right? As that happens, Felix, what's your AC?
16.
Can you take 10 slashing damage, please?
Stand by.
No.
Reaction.
You won't be able to take a reaction, I'm afraid.
That's what, no reaction at all. Fine.
There's a very specific reason why not.
Okay.
Alantrix, can you take 10 slashing damage, please?
No?
Because he said so.
Yeah.
No reactions here, but it's
Let me just save it for the next one. That doesn't
Stop
work like
rolling those fucking dice.
that. Reactions don't stack.
The only other thing you notice is this central bag, if you like, this kind of this statue's
glowing.
holding,
Stop
seems to have
glowing.
been altered in some way. You're not really sure why. It's almost carved slightly, and the light is suddenly much brighter than it was before. But other than that, it doesn't. It seems to have been opened, if you like, somewhat, but not. Whatever it was hasn't been completed. That is all he will do. And he sat down next to you as if nothing happened. Felix, you're up.
Hello.
You feel as if somebody close behind you has just stabbed you in the back. That's
Okay.
it suddenly happens. But
Ow.
you're not really sure why or what
Yeah.
happened or who it was.
Yeah, that's fine. Are they in close with me? This gets a little bit confusing.
No, there's
Okay.
nobody there.
Well, that's a cool spell. Sweet. In which case, all of the elves that were at the table,
On fire.
cinders or
They're moving around, but they're very much on fire. There's 3 of them.
yes, there is.
Oh, that's a different thing.
Okay, cool. In which case, he's gonna turn back round, and he's gonna make his way 30 feet towards the bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I assume, if I went 60 foot, it basically gets me out of the bag, right?
Yeah, it's 20 feet away. It's really close to you.
Does he see? Is he stood by the bag?
He's not there either. He sat down next to Elantrix. Indomitus.
Cool.
For all intents and purposes, other than he jumped from one side of the room to the other when you threw the flask,
Yeah.
he doesn't seem to have moved. Something happened, but you're not really sure what.
Yeah. I mean, Felix doesn't know. He is going to use. Is he in close with the bag and its brass holdings?
Yeah, so you can get really close to it. It's actually the bag itself. You've got these kind of 3 brass antennae that seem to be up around it, and then you can almost. What's happened is somebody's carved. It wasn't there before.
Yeah.
But there's this statue of a wood elf made out of wood, clutching what looks in close up like a Hessian sack that's been turned into wood, and somebody's trying to carve around the stone.
Yeah.
But not fully made it. It's almost as if it's still compression set within the statue. But you can see it. And actually there's this kind of stone that's roughly the size of your hand, and it's emerald in colour but glowing so brightly it hurts your retinas.
Yeah.
And there seems to be kind of a swirl pattern kind of carved into it.
The brass antennae.
Yeah.
Are they attached to anything?
Just stood up on the ground.
So
they're kind of loose.
they look like they're supporting the structure, probably.
They're not even supporting anything, they're just kind of there, just stood up in it as a triangle around this object. And you think, Felix probably wouldn't think, but in general they look like they're there to conduct something. But
Sure. He's going to smash them down with his greatsword.
Yeah, so the brass antennae is specific?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that. Can you roll an attack roll for me?
Yeah. 11 plus 9, 20.
Absolutely, roll some damage.
Some damage, some damage, some damage, some damage, some damage. That was cool. Can you re-roll that one for me, Stu? Because I get to re-roll them.
It's a 3.
Plus 4 plus 2. So it is going to be 7, 9 damage.
Yeah, you can smash all of that to pieces. So just carve through kind of anything brass in the area, you can just kind of carve your way through. Absolutely. You do have a secondary attack. You can attack
The statue.
something, the wooden elf statue in general.
Yeah.
Are you trying to carve the thing out, or are you just trying to just hack it down?
It's in a bag
Yeah,
in some arms.
that's right.
So you can chop the arms off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's going to be 15 to hit.
Absolutely. Hack into it.
16 damage.
Oh, you start hacking at this thing, absolutely wailing through it. And what you've noticed is it's living wood on the inside. It kind of becomes green on the inside. And because of that, it's knotted and thick.
Yeah,
Right? So
well.
you're kind of expecting just to carve through it in one hit.
Yeah.
Actually, it takes quite a lot. Of
It's like a
hits.
real hard wood.
Exactly, and you're
Yeah.
kind of slamming through it. However, you think, just as you think, oh crap, I'm going to be here a while.
Yeah.
There seems to be a sudden crack, and the whole thing breaks loose. And yeah, it's a big old weight. It's a chunky thing. It will weigh you down to carry it, but it just dropped to the floor
Plus
quite
4
dramatically.
strength, baby.
Yeah.
He'll just stay close to it then.
Absolutely. Flaming elves.
Flaming elves.
Flaming elves.
Flaming elves.
Generally, they spend most of the time patting themselves down and trying to get this flame off them, but they're patting themselves down.
The only instance of Indomitus is sat next to me. Yeah, it's not even though he appeared in different locations. We think he's currently by me.
You saw it.
Yeah.
But it almost sounded like he was in 4 places at the same time.
Yeah.
It actually can't hurt, it hurts your mind to think about it because it doesn't make any sense. But he's sent to be in 4 locations at exactly the same time, doing 4 different things. But then he was sat back down next to you again.
Yeah.
One of those things was stabbing you in the chest.
Mm.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah. But then...
It was about 4 seconds ago.
Yeah. That's kind of where it was. I don't think I've even put you guys in the right order. Have I? Who's next? We've got... You're a paladin for some reason, which you really shouldn't be. You were there. You're
that's
right.
fair,
Why have I got a horseshoe? That doesn't seem like the right thing. One of these should be a warrior. That's a warrior. That can be you. There we go. We got it there in the end. Wesley,
There.
you're up.
Wesley doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah. There's a group of
It's
flaming.
alright, same as everybody else in the room.
Yeah. Indomitus is sat down next to Alantrix. Seems to be having a lovely time. There's what now looks like a fairly wide-eyed looking mechanical gnome on a plinth next to a load of statues. And Felix has just set fire to a load of people and started hacking up some equipment and statues.
Yeah, Wesley doesn't.
America.
Wesley doesn't speak the language. He was not briefed on plan, whatever this plan is.
Mm-hmm.
And
This plan.
Ah?
I
We
don't
haven't
know.
got the plan Z yet.
I make up the plan. When that plan doesn't work, I make up another plan.
I don't know who Indomitus is. I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah, you haven't
I'm
met any of
probably
these
going to
guys.
guiding bolt the closest person to me because I don't know what.
As in civilian? Just
Oh, well, I don't know. Who was a
It's
civilian,
Felix.
Who was not a
Shoot
civilian.
Felix in the ass.
I do not know who is who. So whoever
Felix is your friend? Don't shoot Felix.
No, he's not near me. It would just literally be whoever is.
yes, there's a group of flaming elves, and they would be. Let's see, they would be. They are the polar opposite side of the tent where you are. So they're 100 feet away from you.
I wouldn't have shot them. I would have shot this guy.
Felix.
Not this guy, but if it was at a table, if I'm in the room, I
Ah,
don't
okay.
know who an enemy is. I don't know who
So you're gonna
Indomitus
shoot
is.
the
I don't
nearest
know what the
individual.
plan is. Meta, I would go shoot that guy.
Okay.
But Wesley doesn't know.
Can we have a rule against attacking civilians? It's just a bit dodge.
Nobody has briefed a plan.
Okay.
This is what happens. So I
you
would,
can just roll a random attack if you want.
I would just. I don't know what Felix has blown some elves up.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're. I don't know we're here to kill elves. We're just here to get a stone and all's kicking off. So it's all kicking off.
Felix looks like he's going for the stone.
Yeah, I don't like metal
That is
in that.
true.
Hmm.
I don't like it. I think if we do not coordinate a plan, this is what happens. Somebody gets shot with a guiding bolt. And there's an 18 to hit. You may choose.
A random individual.
It would be a random. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it's not.
you can hit a
Everybody is random to Wesley. But in this situation,
Yeah.
everybody is random.
Yeah.
And I would. Wesley wouldn't shoot over. He would just shoot.
Oh, so you're going to shoot in the general
No.
direction.
I don't. I'm just going to fight just a
Yeah.
person and assume that they are the bad guys.
No such thing as innocent bystander.
There is no such thing as innocent bystander. No.
Yeah, go
Get
ahead.
shot, I'm afraid.
Fire off guiding bolt into the crowd.
Yeah.
Can you roll damage for me?
Well, it won't be into the crowd. It will be at somebody.
Can you roll damage for me?
I can. Yes.
Roll a d100.
It is 18 damage.
Yeah. There's a stifled scream.
Yeah. That's enough.
Anything else you want to do?
No, I can't do it. It'll be a reaction otherwise. So no, I can't do anything
No
else.
worries. Danaeus, you're up.
How far away am I from Elantrix's table?
Oh, close. You're 15 feet away.
Right. I'm going to leap up. I'm ready. Already got my staff in my hand. And I'm going to point at Indomitus.
Oh, so
And
all
just-
like a chum.
Utter a guttural syllable. Utter! and my eyes go briefly red. And it's a curse.
Nice.
As a bonus action. And for duration, he's got disadvantage on strength and dex checks and takes 1d8 necrotic damage if he makes more than one attack on his turn.
Sorry, run that by me again.
He's cursed. To the end of my next turn. For the duration, he has disadvantage on strength and dex checks. Takes 1d8 necrotic damage if he makes more than one attack on his turn.
Nice. Cool. Okay.
And I'm going to then blast him with my staff. I'm hoping that Elantrix, having seen this thing being used before, when I raise it up and point it at her table, will have the presence of mind to duck.
Nice.
Fire. Now, how did we do this magical attack with this thing again?
You rolled a ranged spell attack.
Right. How the hell do I do that?
You should have in there.
Range spell attack.
I think you added it in as one of your abilities, didn't you?
I thought I
Our
had.
good friend Wesley did that for you.
Wesley.
You got a
it's
spell.
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
You got a spell.
Yeah.
Spells.
No, it was under a quarterstaff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We wasn't under a spell.
No, it wasn't.
So just there,
It
like
was
at the
under a
top,
weapon.
you've got +2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's that one. If it lets you roll that. If not, it'll just be D20 +2.
Right, here we go. Oh. That's 3 plus that's 5.
Yeah, you fire that thing off. Tables just get thrown across the room. You feel like a sudden burst of force again.
Set the right song.
Tables start flying across the room, but it definitely doesn't miss. It misses Indomitus and Elantrix's table.
Okay.
Fair margin.
And now I'm going to run towards Wesley. Felix.
Nice. You're going to use your full movement. What's your movement?
Full movement is 30.
Cool. So you're about 20 feet away from him.
So I'll run up beside him.
No worries. Yeah, you're roughly 20 feet away from Felix at this point.
Ah, right.
So you
Okay.
can't make the whole distance.
Okay.
Hello!
Hello! So you are there. You are now there. There. Lovely, my old chums. Which means that Elantrix, you're up. Sat down next to you, looking fairly nonplussed, is Indomitus.
There's so many ways I could go with this. She is going to first of all cast something beginning with S.
Something beginning with S.
Okay, she's going to cast Shield of Faith first of all as a bonus action. Oh, we didn't make it. No, wait, we didn't make an AC check when he attacked, did he? It
Sorry?
was just an auto. It was just 10 damage. There was no attack roll made, was there?
To your knowledge, no.
I'm not going to cast that. That would be not good. In that case, I'm going to cast Sanctuary.
Yeah. What level spell is it?
No, I'm not. What's my other one?
How many S
Looking-
spells have you
As I
got?
hadn't read the rule properly, can't put amplify on that
Okay.
curse?
1 second.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary
What
on
level
my
spell is it?
level 1.
I'm afraid it fails.
Ooh. Okay. But I just still lose a spell slot.
You do, I'm afraid.
Oh, balls. Okay. That was a bonus action.
Yeah.
In that case, we've got problems. I've got no second level spells because I spent them all getting in here.
Oh no!
That won't work either. She's going to... Okay, she's going to cast...
Cooper.
Cool.
Doesn't work either. Okay, she's going to cast... Potentially. Well, she's going through all her spells in her mind in just a few seconds when she realises the first one doesn't work. Okay, she's going to cast Aid at level 3. So she's overcharging it. Does that go off? We're good. And that means I'm going to give it to Phineas, me. You're in the middle of nowhere at the moment, and Felix. We all get 10 temporary hit points.
Ooh. 10 temporary hit points.
Nice. For 8 hours. It's not concentration. Okay.
Turn up.
Then, is she within melee range?
Of Indomitus? Yeah, he sat right next to you.
Okay, so I can't get away from.
Probably thigh to thigh, I would say.
She's going to at least stand up.
Uncomfortably
Slap
close.
him with a glove.
Yeah, she's going to at least stand up.
Yeah.
And that's what she's going to do.
Slap him with a glove. How
Yeah.
dare you,
As
sir?
you stand up, he just politely nods to you. Is that everything?
Such a douchebag.
Yep.
Marvellous. The mechanoid gnome that seems to be sat above you seems very confused about what is going on. He flits from one side to the other, and kind of his eyes these kind of lenses on his eyes rotate rapidly as he kind of looks around at the flaming elves, looks around at this strange dog-like creature that's run by, looks at Wesley, who seems to be firing off randomly into the crowd. Randomly, specifically into the crowd, should we say?
Unfortunately, that is the case.
Yeah. He pulls a lever very quickly on his pedestal, and everything starts crackling with green lightning. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, Felix? 8. Green crackling lightning bursts from this bag in front of you. Can you gain 5 temporary hit points for me?
Nice.
It goes up through this brass structure and then ricochets in random directions. It kind of arcs. Obviously something is not quite right, which is what is going on. I was so close! My green engine was so close! As that happens, his voice stutters slightly. This green arcing lightning pulls forwards. The whole podium made out of this brass structure seems to be engulfed in green light. You're suddenly hit with a sense of intense power. There's 2 ways you feel that. One, everything suddenly just tastes of pennies. For some reason. You felt this thing, very similar experience before, but everything kind of tastes of pennies in the air. And any area of exposed skin starts to feel like all of your hair is standing up at the same time. You feel cold, suddenly. But cold in kind of almost like a feverishly warm sense. And not because you're caressing an experimental hot object. You're also, perhaps, depending on your beliefs and what you've seen of the world, struck with a sense of awe and terror as the small creature in front of you starts to grow, pulsate. Actually, things start to sprout from within his chest. There are filaments that seem to grow out from underneath his suit and his robe, and he seems to become larger and larger. So large, in fact, Felix, that he's very close to you now, kind of almost brushing up against you as this large structure starts to emerge from within him. If you were to behold this creature, and it is difficult to behold, you would get some kind of humanoid structure, 2 stumpy legs and kind of stumpy arms, but it's huge. Well, it's large, to use the proper terminology. I describe it as huge, but let's say large. And it's almost made up upon filament of fungus, and there seems to be bark within it. There's kind of berries growing from it in various places. And it has a maw that opens up, but generally speaking, it's hard to know how this creature operates. But this kind of this large humanoid-esque fungal creature, as if you sketched the size of a large gnome and covered it with fungus, is kind of what we're looking at here.
And this is focused on Stiltmire, or it's focused on the statue and the...
Stiltmire.
Right.
Specifically Stiltmire. With that, a thing will happen next. One of a few things might happen.
He's got so many little notes.
So many little notes. So many little notes.
Like the moon comes towards you.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
That's to everybody.
Jeez.
Just
Had to get in close. No.
Just me.
That is going to be 15.
15. You suddenly cough. So you cough and choke as you take in something. Just for a moment, visions seem to swim in front of your eyes. You see fungus spores kind of growing out of nothing. You feel yourself almost as if you're a worm and a bird and life itself all at the same time flashes before your eyes. You manage to shake your head, and suddenly you're back where you are. There's a large fungusy creature growing up behind you and almost pushing your fur as it grows.
That's fine.
But other than that, you are unaffected.
Creepy.
With that, we shall move on. The bag that struck the floor suddenly flashes with light. It's blinding to you who stood right in front of it, but it does flash with an obscene amount of light. Can everyone gain an additional 4 hit points, please, and temporary hit points? While we're here, what is everybody's hit points total?
Good lord.
including the temporary ones.
No, just your normal total. What's your normal maximum?
Oh, 53.
67.
40.
74.
Wow.
Tricks. Phineas is 74. Cool.
Although I am a few below that on my normal thing from hits from before.
Absolutely fine. It's just your maximum. That probably won't be important. Don't worry about it. Wonderful. Top of the turn, Oliver.
Interesting. Cool.
It's up to it's Indomitus first, I'm afraid.
Ah, cool. He's lovely.
Da, 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 da. Cool. He stands up, nods to you, Lantrix, and he points his finger towards the bag at the centre of the room, and he whispers something in Elvish. It's very high Elvish, it's kind of an old language, but you do understand vaguely what he's saying. The words are magic, but he says something about and none shall touch it, is the words that you understand.
I am a high elf specifically, if that helps.
Oh, you are a high elf specifically, so he speaks in old tongue, basically. He's speaking an incantation. You're probably unaware of the incantation itself, but you get the meaning. And the meaning is he's creating some kind of a barrier. But you're not sure where.
Has he had to roll on dexterity to do this?
You're both in base contact with him.
No.
No, you're
No,
not.
I'm far away.
You are, right? Yeah. So you will get an attack of opportunity in a minute. However, what happens immediately, Felix, is you feel yourself being pushed. Pushed 5 feet. Luckily, you pushed 5 feet away from this large creature. You're definitely being pushed away from that bag in the centre of the room.
Okay.
Elantrix, do you want to roll an attack and opportunity?
Yeah, can it only be the attack action? I can't use a variant on an attack
Only
action.
attack action. It's only because he's dropping his guard.
Yeah,
to
that's
cast
fine.
the spell.
She'll attack with her mace.
Yeah.
Which
Clocked in the back of the head with the mace. I like that.
is
Bonk.
13.
It's a miss, I'm afraid. You come in to hit him with this mace. As it comes to hit, there's almost like a shimmering light that almost encases his entire body, almost a centimetre outside his body. It just bounces straight back
Don't
off.
forget he's got
was that to
disadvantage
hit?
on strength and dex.
13.
Marvellous! That's all he's going to do. Felix, you're up.
How many attacks did he do?
Didn't do any.
Oh.
Yeah. He casts some magic. Cool. He can't go towards this bag. He's felt that. He's gonna go 30 feet back to Elantrix, go into base with Elfie.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can do that. Right up to him.
Because it's my 60 and then minus 30. He's going to swing his big old blade.
Yeah, you go for it.
4 plus 9 is 13. I assume that's a miss.
It is. As it comes in, it just seems to bounce off some kind of thing.
Pound again. That's fine. 12 plus 9, 21 to hit.
That will hit. You see it almost fracture through some kind of invisible force around it.
9 plus 6 is 15 damage.
Nice, well done. He is lightly armoured under what he's wearing, but it cuts through this armour. Weirdly enough, he doesn't seem to grimace or anything. He just kind of looks. He's almost looking through you directly towards this bag.
Cool, hang on. Hang on. When you hit with a weapon attack, you can expend one spirit to add the total to the damage roll to allow a creature that you can use its reaction to move, blah 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 blah. Bring opportunity attack. Cool. I expend a superiority die.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the damage to him, so he does an extra 3 damage, and he is going to shout to Wesley for help.
Cool.
Nice.
And Wesley can move up to half his speed. It's a maneuvering attack. Come on!
You're 15 feet away. You're 20 feet away.
Cool. That still doesn't mean a lot to Wesley. Does that mean Wesley fight harder? I don't know. I don't like mattering. I hate it.
Is he broken in the brain? I spent a superiority. Cool.
It's up to you. Do you want to move up?
Oh, I move on this turn, do I?
Yeah,
you
you
can
do
move
it
up
right
to
now.
half your speed.
What is happening at the moment?
So right in front of you, what you've seen happen is Indomitus has stood up and
Yeah.
cast something in the centre of the room. It's quite obvious at this point he's using magic.
I'm talking civilians. Like, are these people armed? You know, if you went to like an underground auction, some of these guys might have guns, they might have things on them, and they get up to defend themselves.
There are
there people below a table, like, I don't want to fight? And there are people...
Bear in mind, in so far, 7 seconds is probably fast.
Yeah.
So far, all you've seen happen is a firebomb being thrown, effectively, a giant fungal creature appearing.
I've seen another table get blown up.
And
Another table. Do I blow this table up? I don't know.
You've seen Felix run in and attack this elven individual.
And shout for your help.
Yeah, and shout for your help. That's what you've seen.
It all depends. I'll move in. I don't want to move in, but I'll move in.
And you can make the distance in half your movement. You'll be able to
17.5 these days, quick.
Yeah, you'll be able to get
Little
there.
legs, but they move quick.
So you'll be able to get there pretty quick.
Making squeaking noises as you go.
After that, a small pack of singed elves. 3 elves are going to run in. They're actually going to run in towards this bag. In doing so, one of them is going to try and pick it up, and he's going to be absolutely clobbered by this fungal creature. He's just going to drop a huge fist down on top of him.
Good.
Fungal fist.
Fungal fist.
Fungal fist of squishness.
You don't know what's happening, but that guy ain't getting up. He's literally just been dropped down by a huge fungal fist.
Keep
The
doing
other two
that.
seem to be kind of loosely. They have these kind of long blades, but they're almost using. It's almost like you'd see a spear, but held in a haft. And they're obviously guarding this central bag from this creature. That's all they do, which means Wesley Debenham, you are up.
He'll have to fight.
So, have to fight. And if it's your first night, you have to fight.
I'll hit Indomitus.
Why so sad, Rich?
23.
23 is a hit. You feel like a weird resistance and shattering, but it goes straight through.
11 damage, second attack. 18, does that go through as well?
It does, yep.
6 more damage.
Nice. What was that total?
17.
17,
Over 2.
baby. Just nice. I can do maths. Maths is fun. Nobody's even reading this.
Donk donk.
Yep, so you're going to donk him twice.
Donk him twice.
Both of you will notice as you're donking him, oddly, this is kind of a Lilth elven lordling, if you like. It seems odd that the amount of force you're putting in is having more of an effect. You're not sure why, but there is something happening that means that it's not quite doing as much as you'd expect.
Yeah.
You can spend time investigating that, or you can just keep donking on it. Both those things are equally valid
donk on it.
options.
Oh gosh, I can't stand that.
That's awful.
Theneas, you're up.
How far away am I from the glowy baggy thing?
You're about 20 feet away.
Right.
There are 2 elves stood over it. There's also this gigantic fungal creature that's kind of looming over you at this point. It seems somewhat distracted, like it's just crushed an elf. But other than that, it's strong, hard to go.
Okay. I am going to turn my staff on the bag.
Yep.
Swing my staff round and...
Absolutely. You can try and shoot it?
So,
You can, man.
that
You
is...
can.
Just matter a little bit, Jack. Do we want? We do want it, right?
Lantrix wants it.
So that is
Yeah.
13.
I thought so.
Yeah.
As opposed to like
Yeah.
fire missile. That.
Ah, it's not a missile.
Ooh.
It's a force.
Ooh.
Powerful force.
So that's a 13 to hit the bag. Now, when I've hit a person, it's blown them back by 10 foot. What's the effect it has on the bag?
I'm just trying.
And are the elves in the cone of attack as well?
It's not a cone of attack.
Oh,
It's a direct attack.
it's a
You
solid-
feel this force, it kind of launches
Yeah.
out. What happens is... Okay. What happens is, you feel this force come out of you.
Mm-hmm.
What you see is it seems to hit the bag, right, that bounces against something that you can't see, bounces against something else you can't see, and almost rattles inside an object, as if there's some object around it that's invisible that you can't see. It obviously damages the bag. There's kind of shards of wood start flying off this thing. The stone feels a little brighter, but you can't see physically what's containing it. But whatever you did passed through something, but this bag can't get out of it.
Right. Okay, and how far away am I now from Elantrix and Co?
So that is a very good question. You're probably equidistant. They're probably somewhere between 10 and 15 feet behind you. So lots kind of carnage. Big fungal creature right in front of you, kind of 15 feet away.
Right.
Roughly 15 feet behind you is this abstract chaos around this table.
I'm going to turn around, run back, and smack him with my stick.
But yeah, bundle on in there. You can do that.
Yep.
Smack him with your fists.
Smack him with my stick. And two-handed, bang! Thump him in the face.
Nice.
Oh no, that's the wrong dice. That's the one I want to roll. Ugh. That's only an 11 to hit.
Yeah, it hits something.
Do I get an
70 away.
advantage on him because he's already being attacked?
Yeah, actually, you are flanking him at this point. There's a
Mega
kind of a
flank.
dog pile,
Yeah.
so yeah, you absolutely can.
Oh, that's better. That's 18 to hit. That's not
That
bad.
will hit. That will definitely hit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and that is 8 damage plus. Still got the crimson right on it. So 1d6 extra lightning damage.
Nice.
Ugh, that's just a 1 extra lightning damage.
Okay. What was that total again?
That was 8
9.
smack him in the face damage
Yeah.
and 1 lightning damage.
Imagine that, punch in the face and then just a little sizzle.
Yeah,
Ow!
it's like a little,
licking a 9-volt battery.
yeah, like a little spark goes off as it smacks him in the face.
Nice. Oh, jeepers.
Oh, and it kills him straight out.
9 minutes until you all die, because that's the end of the session.
It kills him
Right.
straight out. Look at that. They've blown the side of his face off, like in that film.
Marvellous. Cool. Any more you want to do?
That is all I can do.
Elantrix, yeah.
3 things. First of all, when we've been gaining temporary hit points, has he been gaining temporary hit points? I would like to do my best to observe.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, there was no indicator that.
He's not really given a strong indication of anything
Okay.
up until now.
Secondly, she would like to call out in a trumpeting fashion, because is it still within 10 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
So to call out in a trumpeting
Yeah.
fashion for help. We're being attacked.
To arms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which isn't an action, is it? That's just a
Trundle,
shout.
trundle,
Thirdly,
trundle, trundle.
she would like to
Sort.
take a very specific kind of grapple action,
Yeah.
whereby I want to completely cover his mouth with
Yeah.
the aim of not letting him cast any verbal-based spells. So she's effectively trying to grapple him, but mostly in the face.
The face grapple.
So she's not, she'll still. That's specifically what she would like to try and do.
Yeah, roll a grapple attack and all.
Oh, it's a hand. That's what it is.
Natural
Ooh, that's a
20.
natural 20. Look at that.
Nice. You absolutely can wrap your hands around his face.
That's
And she's gone like full arm everything, just
Yeah.
right around his mouth.
Climbing on his back. Oddly cool to the touch as you grab hold of him. Kind of eerily. You're not really sure why, but oddly cool to the touch. Not undead, but cool to the touch. Clammy, almost. Which you weren't expecting.
I suspect he's got one of those heat containers on his trousers.
Do I think this is?
Sweating.
Do I think this is him?
As far as you know, yeah.
Okay.
Break his
Marvellous.
neck, break his-
Okay, so you're physically stopping him from talking.
Yeah.
That's fine. Good choice.
And if he's, it's up to you whether you think he's also grappled, because I was specifically trying to stop him. But your choice if he's also grappled.
Lovely. This gigantic fungal creature in the centre of the room is...
Yeah, cider.
Gigantic
No,
fungal creature.
You don't entirely know what happens, but these two elven entourage individuals just start screaming. You're not sure why, they just start screaming. They fall to the knees, they drop their weapons, and they just start screaming. A lot of them start covering their eyes and covering their heads, and you're not sure what's happening, but that's what happens there.
That fungus is strong stuff.
Strong fungus, baby. Can you all gain 13 temporary hit points, please?
Woo-wee.
And then can you rattle off your totals of temporary hit points?
Cool. Including what Elantrix has given us.
No, just what you've got so far.
Oh,
Because I gave 10 temporary
you
hit
gave 10, right.
22 from.
Or just give me your totals, then I'll deduct 10, that's fine. But that's 22.
How much did you say was added?
13.
13.
So that's 22 without her additional.
So you gave me 10, and then it was 4, so that was 14, and you've just given me
Something makes
30.
me feel like this is bad, though.
So I'm on 27 temporary hit
Oh,
points.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anyone else?
17. I never got the plus 10, so I'll just go 17.
No worries.
27.
Lovely.
Well,
Alan,
What happens when this?
That includes the 10, yeah?
What happens
that
when this
includes the 10,
reaches our
cool.
maximum hit?
and yours didn't.
We'll find out soon.
Yours didn't include the additional 10. The 27 you gave me. Did that include? the
Yeah,
additional-
that included the 10 from
Cool, okay,
Elantrix.
sure. That's fine. In which case, Felix, you look down. You're attacking, but as you look down with your arms, you start to see sporing, almost kind of hyphae just along your fur.
Hyphy.
Hyphae, like almost like fungal
Mushroom.
growth, kind of just within your fur.
Well,
Other than that, you don't know what's going on.
great.
With that, a group of pyramidal-shaped creatures start pouring in from each of the doors. So 2 from each door, spears raised, start charging into the room. They seem to be
Attacking everybody
barreling down towards you. With that, we have a grappled and heavily surrounded Indomitus, who therefore isn't going to do what he was going to do.
Which was forgive us.
This is going to be like, oh, this is fine.
All is forgotten.
It's only going to be one thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
have a stone.
Have the stone. It's probably fine.
I had another one as well. Have this one.
Nice.
You get a stone.
He seems to.
Here's the glove they
all
all
of a
go
sudden,
in.
that clammy feeling you feel increases slightly. That is because as you look down, a silvery mist starts to appear below him and starts to spin around his countenance, and he disappears entirely. After that,
It's had no verbal parts, this spell, just a check.
Oh, you know what it does? So he's just going to have to grapple you first.
It's not like an attack.
Only his legs disappear. The rest of him just drops to the ground.
Come on, Elantrix.
Yeah, so it's going to be your athletics.
7.
Yeah, he's going to be able to grapple free. He speaks a word, and you understand the Elvish correctly. What he says is Misty Step. And he disappears. He's then going to reappear 30 feet away from you. Kind of off to your left-hand side. He reappears at a table.
And that doesn't provoke attack opportunity.
It doesn't, I'm
No.
afraid. And then...
Just a wasted action.
Nice.
One of his.
You see this central bag, if you like, be lifted up from the ground and start travelling towards him. Travels 15 foot towards him. It's suspended in the air, kind of somewhere in between this gigantic fungoid creature and Indomitus.
Suspended.
Felix, you're up.
How much distance is between him and the bag?
Drawing a triangle in my mind. It's going to be, it's roughly, it's only 10-15 feet away.
So Felix can place himself between him and the bag.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can do that.
The fighter. That's what he's going to do. And then he is going to, as opposed to hit, he will just, he's going to investigate why this guy seems not to be taking so much damage. He's going to have a real good sniff at him.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that. Are you going to use your special ability, or are you just going to do an investigation check?
I'll just do an investigation check.
That's a natural 20.
Nice. You don't know a lot about magic,
Yeah.
but you know that for whatever reason, you think Indomitus has come into this room pre-prepared. He was obviously planning something beforehand.
Yeah.
He's cast some kind of spell, and you think it's giving him damage resistance on certain types of damage.
Cool. I would have thought that'd be like concentration or something. Well, no, it wouldn't work if it was concentration, would it? Cool. I am going to use second wind.
Yeah.
To not second wind, sorry. The other one, action surge, to attack him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all I've got, chaps. So
All I can do.
he might be resistant to it, but I just do it a lot.
But as we know, resistance is futile.
Exactly. Not great. That's only going to be a 10 to hit.
It does miss, yes.
Yeah.
You come in, it bounces off whatever this thing is that's surrounding it.
Sweet.
Which is a collection of elves that are screaming. Abstract screaming coming from the centre of the room. You're not really sure what's going on. They're not having a great time of it. Which is Wesley Demonin. You're up.
I'll hit the elf.
You're going to run over and hit
No,
Indomitus.
I'll guiding bolt him
Yep, absolutely. You can do that.
with a thing. 16 gonna hit.
16 is going to hit.
Interesting. He will take
Whoa.
18 damage.
Nice.
Whoa. How many dice? That's
Just 4d6.
amazing.
Nice.
I want that
Must
spell.
use spell slot. Well, you get more. You get 5d6 if I go level 2.
That's amazing.
When you do that, he noticeably seems to take a drop step. So he almost drops slightly. The bag in the centre of the room that's travelling across jutters slightly in the air but remains suspended. But yeah, he obviously takes a fairly sizable whack from that as he feels it grimacing. Other than that, he seems unmoved by a lot of what's going around him, and he goes back to perfect countenance again as soon as it's over. But yeah, it seemed to have hurt significantly.
But his misstep's a huge gesture, given his lack of gesture.
Exactly, so it seems to be quite large. Yeah. He's obviously taken a toll from the combat thus far. Phineas, you're up.
How far away is he now, the elf?
He's 30 feet almost exactly from where you are.
From where I am, okay. I'm going to... 30 feet, that's enough. I'm going to point at him and cast True Strike.
Nice.
And then I'm going to fire my staff at him.
Cool.
So, D20, Bosh, +2 this time, come on. That's 15. I get reroll because True Strike gives me a reroll on my first attack, and that's a fucking 2.
That's not going to do it. 15 will
It's worse than a normal two.
do the thing I never remember.
Equal or exceeds.
Yeah, in which case I'll say it hits.
Right, okay.
You've got it.
So
You
that's
got it.
my... I can't remember how we did the damage for the staff.
1d10. Force damage.
That was it. Yeah. 1d10. So that is... It's not great. It's 2 force damage, plus I get my lightning damage, which is d6.
What damage is good damage?
Just
Damage.
1. But he is blown back 10 feet.
Exactly.
Actually, no, I don't get the lightning damage because it's a physical attack. It has to be a
It's
physical.
just 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't get an attack of opportunity, right, do I? Because he's playing.
You will do. Yeah, so you will get attack of opportunity, as will Wesley Devon. No, because you did guiding bolt, so you're not stood there. You are.
That's
So you
true,
get an
I
attack
did,
of
yeah.
opportunity. He's blasted 10 feet away from you. The misstep, not with counting, this is not the countenance of individual you expect to be forced off their feet, and yet he's forced 10 feet away. He does it fairly gracefully, but actually what does happen is the bag drops to the floor as you push him 10 feet away.
17 plus 9.
That'll hit.
That'll hit.
That'll hit.
Lovely.
Can you do an equal amount of damage?
Sadly, no. Cool. That's going to be 10 plus 16, so 16 damage. 10 plus 6, sorry. And I will do... you can expend once per round to add it to the roll before or after the roll button in your face are applied. Cool. I will... How many of these have I got? Now, which do the 16 damage?
Nice. Nice. Hold on.
And I've still got one more attack. First, the spell
it's
was-
a ranged spell attack, and if it has to be an attack roll specifically, just give me a
Okay.
second one.
So that's me then.
So, gigantic fungal creature.
GFC.
He's going to stomp. Stomp.
That's a GFC.
As he stomps forwards, he's going to head up to yourself, Elantrix.
Elantrix, look out for the GFC!
And he's just going to gently reach out one gigantic maw
Mama.
and just caress your face ever so slightly. This huge, kind of like undulating, almost leathery countenance. Now, can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Oh, if we're
10.
within, you might get a plus. If we're next to each other now, aren't we?
Yes,
You
you
get
are.
a +3 on that as well.
Ooh.
If you're within
13.
Wow. Wow.
That's
I think that might have been
Briefly
helpful.
flickering in front of your eyes, you
is.
have this strange experience where you're in the soil, right? You're in the soil, you seem to be growing rapidly, and before you know it, you're budding and growing up towards the sunlight, and you're growing. But just as this kind of thought encroaches your mind, you come back around and you're kind of back to where you are again. You're obviously somewhere else for a brief period of time, but you're not really sure what's happening. Can you all gain 13 temporary hit points, please?
For Ollie, temporary hit points are usually good.
Do with somebody knocking some of these hit points off me, to be honest. I'm starting to get a bit worried.
Well, there's always...
30, 30.
What is it called? Harry...
Krishna.
Carry.
Oh,
Harry.
okay.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Felix,
Hello.
you're starting to feel really strange now.
Yeah.
Your fur seems to be thick with these sporing creatures. Your skin starts to itch slightly. You feel something within you kind of pulsating, growing within you. Elantrix, you're also feeling it as well. You almost feel like something's trying to escape up through your gullet, but you're not really sure what's happening. You're kind of pulsating from within. Lovely.
Lovely, yeah.
With that, at the sound of trumpets, large, relatively small, upside-down triangle creatures charge in towards this fungal creature and just start stabbing at it with various spears that are flying at it. It seems to start swiping at them in general directions, but you're not really sure what's going on.
Did I miss a turn?
Maybe?
I think I did. I think I was before Fungus Tree.
Oh, jeepers. Take your turn now and gain inspiration.
Self-respect.
Oh, thanks.
Gain respect.
Thanks. Didn't even know oh, yeah. I've already had one, so I'll have to give it to someone else.
I've got one.
Everyone's got
Wesley.
inspiration. Nobody's using
Give
it.
it inspiration.
Nobody's using it.
Okay.
I don't know how to use it. I've never had it before.
I couldn't reach...
That's not
You
true.
can, at any point, you can just re-roll a dice if you don't like it. You can re-roll.
Oh, and you can give it to other people as well.
I
If
couldn't.
somebody else, you don't like somebody else's roll, you say you can re-roll it if you like. Use it.
I couldn't reach Matey Boy. Could I? Could I get up to Indominus?
You can, but you're only in base of a gigantic fungal creature.
I think I had to go just slightly before him.
GFC.
Oh, you did. So
I
you
did.
did. Yes.
But he can catch up me afterwards.
You can catch up with you afterwards. Yeah, you can get there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She's going to run up to Indomitus just slightly before she has the tree experience. And she's going to. Yeah, she's going to say to him, you know, these chimes will save Asher. And as she looks at him, and by the way, I met a demon. He taught me this. And she's going to place his hand upon him. And she's going to cast 3rd level, because it's the only fucking levels I can cast. 3rd level, inflict wounds, which she's never done before.
Blow his face
Her
off!
whole face turns sort of demonic and red just for a moment. And her eyes drop deep and dark. And she's going to cast, 3rd level inflict wounds. Melee spell attack. I think that's a 19, I think.
Now's the time.
19.
As you do that,
You missed your steps, Anna.
he's going to whisper back to you. Wow, you're not the only one who's consorted with demons. The spell fizzles out and has no effect.
5d10 that was going to do.
Can I inspiration that away? Can I? Arseholes.
No. It is, however, his turn. To which,
He is the
seeing
worst.
this,
How many times can he do that?
he is the worst.
He's probably got a heck of a lot of spell slots.
Can you make a charisma saving throw, please, Electrix?
We get a +3 because we haven't moved.
No, I'm not next to you now.
10 foot. Oh, did you move out? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you did
yeah.
move out, didn't you? Yeah.
Charisma save,
Mm-hmm.
9.
Enjoy meeting him again.
I'll take inspiration. 17.
Oh, he's going to say the same thing. Enjoy meeting him again. Just for a moment, you feel, again, you're on that strange plane where there's just one black line that stretches out for eternity. There's a black sky and a black ground, but for some reason, you know, there's a horizon, and something out there is watching you. And it's just for a moment, but as you get hold of your mind again, you're back to where you are.
You're not the only person who's looking at a demon.
Felix, you're up.
The bag is like 5 to 10 foot from
On
me.
the floor. Yeah, I'm 5, 10 foot away.
Cool. He is going to shove his sword into it, not physically touch it. So he's going to poke it, and then he's going to run away.
Doesn't matter which direction, as long as it's
Like
away.
Fair idea.
Yeah, basically towards the canvas of the tent,
Yeah.
or whatever open exit there is, and he's going to run. He has 30 foot. He's going to use dash if stabbing it doesn't count as an action,
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. I'll let you, you're basically picking it up, right?
Yeah.
So I'll let you do that.
but without his paws.
Yeah.
Seems pretty powerful
That
and
seems like a
scary.
good
with.
idea.
Yeah, cool. So 60 foot of total movement. Call it 50.
Yeah.
Out of, no.
Absolutely. So you're probably roughly 50 feet away from a flat. But I assume you're running away from general melee as well. So you're 50
Everything.
feet away. Yeah.
Does he feel any better about the horrendous spores that are on his body?
No. Much worse. Yeah, that's just getting worse over time.
Okay.
Yeah. Abstract screaming from the centre of the room.
The title of my debut album.
As both of the individuals in the centre burst open as they kind of this fungal
The other
infection,
elves.
yeah, the other elves in the centre of the room takes over them and they start to kind of grow fungal appendages. They seem somewhat dismayed at this encounterage and are stuck.
Just goes to show that uncontrolled fungal growth is bad for your health.
Certainly is.
That's inspiration.
If you didn't already have it, that would be inspiration.
I can interject.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wesley Denham.
I'm almost shocked by that. I can't take it in.
are currently stood on your own.
That was a pun of the season.
Table.
I'll
There's a
head
large
in-
fungal creature and some elf over in.
Remember the clip?
Indomitus.
Yeah, you can head over there.
Indomitus, we're going to hit
They
it
seem
with
to be having a pleasant conversation. There's some kind of magic battle going on between two minds that you can't really see.
They're
He's
almost
definitely
kissing,
distracted.
but
They're very close to one another as they're doing this, yeah.
Does that mean I get advantage?
You probably could flank, but there's also a humongous fungoid creature.
I'm hitting with a 23 anyway, so it's alright.
Nice.
I'm going to hit him with my Warhammer for 6. I'm going to Divine Smite him on top of that one if I hit somebody with a melee attack. For... not 71. That would have been 8 damage on top.
I prefer 71.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, laugh that off, smiling boy.
Going to hit him again with my second attack. Which is 12, which is not going to hit.
Cool. So how much damage does that tell?
Let me look at the log. The log is gone. What was it? It was 8.
It was 8.
I hit for... Why has the log disappeared? It wasn't that high. It was 1. I think it was 3.
7 and 1 was the first one.
What was the first? Is it?
That's 8. That's what the second one was.
Yeah, it's a 1d8 plus 3. So let's just say it was 5. So it was a low roll, plus 3, 5, plus 8. Let's call it that. 13.
Nay.
So I cannot remember.
My good man. Athenaeus, you're up.
So what's
He doesn't seem to move. He's still
Indomitus
paying very
is-
much close attention to Elantrix.
Indomitus is still directly in front of me. But not in. I'm about.
Yes, there's basically a general melee with Elantrix, now Wesley, and a gigantic fungal creature, all kind of fighting one another. You've just seen Felix pelt it over to a bag, pick it up and run away. And he just seems to be hightailing it out there.
Okay, I'm going to, while shouting, Elantrix, Felix has got the package and gone. I will then run in and smack Indomitus in the face with my staff.
Nice.
First attack
stuff of self-loathing.
is
Hate yourself.
a 16 to hit,
That hits.
and that's 11 punching in the face damage plus
Like that.
5 lightning damage. So that's 16 damage in total.
What did you say it was? It was bludgeoning, and how much was the lightning damage?
5.
Okay.
And then the second attack
What you just said.
is 14 to hit.
Miss. I'm afraid.
Go on.
As you do the first battle damage and you kind of wail into the staff, that crackling energy emerges. You hear an odd sound, it's like a ringing sound in your ear. As that ringing sound continues, it kind of gets higher pitched to a point where you're almost hard to hear it. He turns and looks at you, and as he looks at you, you almost see kind of like fractures come from within, kind of underneath his skin. Almost like you would see as if you had like fractured porcelain, you put it up to a light. It continues and the lines get darker and darker, and suddenly before your eyes he seems to get older and older and older, until ultimately the cracks get so wide he starts to crack apart. And slowly underneath all those cracks is just dust that kind of emerges, and he collapses to the floor in a heap of dust.
Well, that seems positive.
Wasn't expecting that.
No.
I say we follow Felix.
Yep.
Well, I'm fresh out of that was me done. So, and I was
There you go.
probably quite taken aback by what happened there.
This gigantic fungal creature, if you all start to run, won't be able to keep up with you, so you can drop turn order if your intention is to run.
Run.
Run! Is it a creature?
It is.
I'd like,
GFC.
before I run, I'd like to cast my new 4th level spell. Because what's the point of leveling up if you're not going to cast your 4th level spell?
Do it! Exactly.
Has he got a magical fucking shield on him? He's gonna. She's going to turn to him. Usually requires 3 nutshells, just out of interest.
Oh, do you have those?
There's a couple on the table next to her.
That sure is.
Pick them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick them up.
the
And
3
she's
shells.
going to hold up her
Now use
shield,
the 3 seashells.
bursting with life, and having gone to various planes and almost died 13 times in the last 14 seconds. Hold up her shield, speak her words, move her hands, and she is going to cast Confusion on this great big tree. It needs to make a wisdom save.
It's so wise.
So wise. The wisest of giant fungal creatures. He passes now.
From the back of magazines, cut out the coupon. That's the only wisdom I can think of. That shows you how
your
wise
DC?
a person I am.
It's a 12.
13.
12.
13. So it passes. An effect. This concentration
Yeah. Concentration
for
to
1 minute. The spell assaults and twists creatures' minds, spawning delusions and provoking uncontrolled action. Each creature
Twitch,
in a 10-foot
twitch,
radius sphere. Is there anything else in the 10-foot radius sphere?
Lots of random civilians.
Okay, well they're going to be. Yeah, they're going to have the same experiences.
So
Well,
you're
they
about
won't be able
half
to
a
stop
minute
us.
at this point. Yeah.
Affected target can't take reactions. Must roll a d10 at the start of each of its turns to determine its behaviour for that turn.
Nice. For the sake of
At the
argument,
end of each of its turn, affected target can make a wisdom save to try and end it.
as a 4,
Nope.
A 4. I'm also running in the direction of Felix as my
I
movement.
assume you're rabbiting.
The creature doesn't move or take actions this turn.
Nice.
It can attempt to save at the end of every turn, though.
Oh, it's 21.
Well, there you go. Yeah, saved immediately, but at least didn't do anything that turn.
Can you all gain 10 temporary hit points?
God. I'm up to 50 temporary hit points.
Me too.
So, as Felix runs out the 10, he is looking for. I feel like this is
Looking for the guy with the explosive
a
flasks.
big old expensive place.
Mm.
He's looking for booze. Even though he's got this bag shoved on the end of a sword, this wooden. husk.
Are we out of turn sequence now?
We are,
Yeah.
but before we do that, Elantrix, can you make a death saving throw, please?
Yes. 9. No.
Inspiration.
Fail. Can you inspire death saving throws?
Sure. I don't actually think you can.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can. I think
I don't think
you
you
inspire dice saving throws.
It's a fail.
Looking down at one of your arms, it just erupts. It erupts with fungus, it grows to large, you seem to lose control over it, and your left arm just bursts free with fungus and just starts growing uncontrollably out of you.
I was running behind Elantrix
Yeah.
in the same direction as her, so I'm effectively running towards her, and I sort of veer off to the right a bit.
I'm warning whatever the hell that is.
I'm going to go that way a bit. Still heading in Felix's general direction, following the green glow. But I reckon it's probably dark outside by now, so I'm going to follow the green glow.
Yeah, and wow. Yeah, you probably don't want to. Worse than that, he's not going to look for alcohol. He's going to run for where the flamethrower was.
Yeah.
Is a dude still there?
A lot of people have legged it by this
Yeah.
point. It's a lot of this place is abandoned. The people who are there seem to be
Chaos and anarchy
there's a lot of
around.
chaos going on.
Cool. He's going to throw the sword down with the bag on the end of it. And he's going to hit the flamethrower and jump into the flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Smell of burning dog.
Smell of
You take 7 flame damage, whatever that's called,
Yeah.
burning damage.
he is a magical dog. I would assume that would burn the spores.
Yeah, it is. It is burning them quite nicely. What do you guys want to do?
I haven't left the tent because I don't know if the gem is what's causing this or if the thing's what's causing this.
Okay.
So I'm just going to wait around.
Yeah. The fungal creature is
Smashing.
just smashing things up.
I'll smash him in the head back. I don't mind.
Yeah. Do you want to you remaining in turn order?
We don't have to remain in turn order. I'm
That's what
interested
you're gonna do. Yeah.
to see if it's the gem that's causing
Yeah.
this or if it's this geezer that's causing this.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not sure what's happening with Elantrix, but it doesn't look good. She seems conscious, but unless you do something very quickly.
Cut it off.
Okay.
Even better, throw her in the frame.
Would the staff, would the gem help, or
She's an elf, she can take it. We're out of turn order, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Felix is going to suggest. He looks burnt and not very well, but he's going to suggest we...
On the contrary, you feel bad. But
Yeah.
you look great.
okay? I'm gonna
Like
I'm
patches
gonna
of pink, yeah, a lot of his hair's
I'm
missing.
gonna
He's
run
just
up-
jumped into fire.
I'm gonna run up behind Atlantrix then and
We'll drag her.
grapple her and drag her towards the flame and see if we can burn the shit off her arm.
You can give it a go.
Let's do it.
You're not gonna like this.
But the alternative is worse. Yeah. Yeah, Felix will help.
You take 12 flame damage. And then when you do that, can you make me a death saving throw?
12 flame damage. So that comes off my normal damage, not my temporary hit points
Take your
first.
temporary hit points, yeah. You can use your temporary hit points as you like.
Yeah.
They're yours to
I
use.
want to get rid of them. I don't like them. But then 38 now, so I'm fine.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Yeah.
10 fails.
12.
12
Succeeds.
succeeds.
Yeah.
Cool. You feel as if your other arm was about to burst forth from you, but you managed to quell it.
Does it look like we've burnt the fungus off her arm, or
Whatever's happening is going to happen. It's already set in. It doesn't seem like anything you're doing is stopping it at this point.
Cool.
It was different with Felix. It sounded
Yeah.
like you burnt something away. You burnt spores off his countenance. Whatever this has happened to Antrix is coming from within.
Andrews, do we destroy the item or can it save you? Use your knowledge. You don't know. Decision.
Keep the item is more important than me. You need to find 4 of these. It's the secret to the cowl.
We think it's the secret to the cow.
no? I am going to grab Felix's sword
Oh, it's your sword.
and I am going to swing it as hard as I can down onto the satchel.
Yeah. Can you make a attack roll for me?
That is 16 as a standard basic attack roll.
Yeah, that's fine. You'll
Um,
hit it. It's
yeah.
just where you hit it. Can you roll damage for me? I think the great sword is 2d6.
Sure is, then mine's plus 4, which is my strength, so it'll be 2d6 plus your strength.
So 2d6 is
Plus it's a plus 2 weapon, so it's 2d6 plus 2 plus your strength.
2d6, so that's 2 on the d6, so that's 4 plus
What did you get on the d6?
2.
2, and your strength is?
Strength is 17.
Sorry, what's your strength modifier?
Oh, strength modifier plus 3.
So it's
No, that's
2,
so yeah, plus 3.
2 plus 3 plus 2. So you do 7
7.
damage.
7 damage
It's
on
the
it.
nicest sword you've ever used.
It's beautiful. You smash down thing with 7 damage. It's surprisingly, with the slashing damage, it's surprisingly flexible as you hit it. You're almost expecting to hit something glassy, it doesn't, it absorbs it. However, as you do that, you do see fracture lines all over the stone suddenly burst out. You're hit with an immediate bright green light that's almost blinding, that kind of blasts out from all around you. Can you all make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Even me? I'm in the tent.
Not you, you're too far away, mate.
Even me? I'm sort of dead.
Yeah, you can give it a go.
I don't save, dex save. 9.
Yeah, not great. 8.
22.
22. You dive out of the way of this thing. You're absolutely fine. Elantrix, can you make me a death saving throw as you are healed for 70 hit points?
70? 7-0?
2.
7-0.
Fucking
2.
It's a fail.
Can you make me a death saving throw, please, Felix?
That's a D20, right? Yeah. It's a 9.
It's a fail. Can you make me another death saving throw, please, Felix?
5.
Oh my god. Oh, it's okay, so it stops there. I thought it was going to keep going.
Because there were 2 fails,
You
right?
don't want another one of them, yeah.
Yeah, can you make me your final death
Oh my god!
I wrote a whole book series about this character. A whole book. 16. No, 19. Oh, lovely.
So that's 2 fails, right?
Yeah.
2 fails, 1 pass. Elantrix, 2 fails, 1 pass.
Don't do that again.
What the hell do I do?
Both of these guys are writhing in pain at this point, so I'll say that you both drop to incapacitated. You're left with Phineas.
Okay. The only thing that I can think of is I'll pick it up and I will throw it towards the perimeter fence as far as I can.
Yeah, so you can do that. So just do me a flat. Well, actually, maybe a ranged attack roll is probably what I do.
How do I do a ranged attack roll?
What's it called when you toss it and then you kick it or something?
On the volley?
I've got a sling. I'm going to drop it into my sling and hurl it.
Yeah,
Do
that's
that
fine.
with the dogs.
So, oh shit! That was a natural one.
Natural one.
Haven't you got
He
inspiration?
actually eats
I've got
it.
inspiration.
There you go.
Another natural one.
Wow.
Oh no, that's a 7. Oh
No, that's a 1 in 400.
It's a natural 7.
no, it's a 7. Sorry, so that's 14.
You throw it, not as far as you'd like. Oh, it's a 14, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
you absolutely can lob this thing with a 14, that's fine. I thought you said it was 7. So you jettison this thing, what's the range on your sling?
30 or 120.
Cool, so it's going to be roughly 120 feet, you're lobbing this thing.
Because it's
as far as you
inaccurate.
can.
Yeah,
so
30 to 120. Yeah, 120
just
foot.
hurling
Doesn't
this thing
matter.
120 feet, that's fine. You no longer feel any kind of warming effects of this thing. Can both Elantrix and Felix, you make a final con save?
Final.
Con save.
17.
13.
Oh lordy! Just when you think life has blinked from you and you can't go any longer, and you've kind of had this brief glimpse of this other life, you breathe. As you do breathe, you kind of break yourself forth from this fungal carapace that's been growing over you. You suddenly breathe again, you suddenly can feel yourself again, you suddenly start to feel whole once more. You lose all of your temporary hit points.
Yay.
However, Elantrix, you realise as you slough off some of the fungus in its arm, you can't use it. It's completely dead. Doesn't seem to move, doesn't seem to function. And just
What is, sorry, there?
Your,
The arm.
your left arm.
My left
Your
arm.
skin's completely
My
limp.
shield arm.
No! It's completely limp and doesn't seem to move at all. Oh. And with that,
Fungus arm.
that will be the end of today's session.
Nice.
Thank you, Oliver.
Well,
Thank you very much. Thank you for sticking around a little bit longer if you're still here. Apologies for keeping you late, but it's nice to finish these ones all the way to the end. Thank you very much to the players that have joined us for this entire season. It's been wonderful to have you here and wonderful to have you back, Josh.
Only one roll away from permadeath.
Permadeath.
Thank you for running the season, Ollie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ollie.
It's been an absolute pleasure running with you guys. I've really enjoyed it. So with that, for the final time this season, I'll say we have been...